It's round 2 of the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers presented by Memphis Shades live here from Motorsport Park Hastings in Hastings, Nebraska. We had a great opening day to kick off the 2026 season, but it's now round 2, and several faces have a chip on their shoulder before we say goodbye to Hastings for the final time this season. Who will find the top step of the podium? Who will walk out of the opening weekend with a points lead? It's just about time to find out right here on Racer TV. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 2 of the opening weekend of the 2026 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers presented by Memphis Shades. It's going to be an incredible afternoon of racing, and we can't wait to show it all live right here on Racer TV. I'm Zach Herron, excited to be back covering the action here in 2026. And now we're just about ready to send things down to the man, the myth, Rob Bidas, standing by to get opening ceremonies underway.
Well, thanks a lot, Zach. We certainly appreciate that kind opening. And you're right, drama yesterday. New faces, new results, new points leaders. Things are going to shape up as we head into stop number 2. They talk about the championships, losing it at round number 1. Cody Gilmore had to come out on a full backup bike to secure a 4th. He is still in this championship hunt. But you know how we do things at the BRL? We kick things off with the Lord, family, and country. I'd like to introduce to you to bring you today's invocation, Jeff Lucina.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you today, hearts full of reverence and profound gratitude. As we gather, we pause to remember the brave men and women of our armed forces who made the ultimate sacrifice in service to our country. Their courage, dedication, and selfless devotion have preserved the freedoms that we cherish today. We lift up in prayer the families and loved ones of our fallen heroes. Lord, wrap them in your comforting embrace. Ease their sorrow and fill them with your enduring peace. As we enjoy the liberty secured by these brave souls, help us to never take for granted the heavy cost of our freedom. Guide us to honor their memory by living lives of purpose, compassion, and unity. Protect those who currently serve our nation and grant wisdom to our leaders as they work to promote peace and justice in the world. And Lord, finally, we ask your protection and blessing on all of our racers, their teams, our workers, our families, and our crews as we enjoy pursuing our passions. We ask for your blessing upon everyone gathered here today in your gracious love now and forever. It's in your holy name, all God's people said, amen.
Well, Jeff Lucina, fantastic job of making sure that everybody has a blessing put on them today. Well, America's 250 years old this year, and we wanted to make sure that we brought something extra special. Today, performing the national anthem in front of the Motor Maids Color Guard, will you please help me welcome Deidre Walker.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we've hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're live here in Hastings. Let's throw it back up to the race control and Zach Herron.
All right, thank you very much, Ron Bidas, and thank you very much to everyone involved with that incredible opening ceremonies, Memorial Day weekend, partnering up with opening weekend of year number 6 for the Bagger Racing League and the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers presented by Memphis Shades. As now we take a look at our Motion Pro track map here for Motorsports Park Hastings, MPH as we like to call it, and they're doing a little bit of celebrating as well. It's their 20-year anniversary here in 2026, and year number 3 for the BRL stopping by. Now this is a really interesting track. It's the same designer that we have out at Gingerman. It's got 13 corners in total, and this has got some unique characteristics. First of all, it's got some high speed sections. Turn number 3, that approach out of 3 into 4, that's going to be your fastest point on the track. And then limited left turns as well. Turn number 1 going to be a left-hand turn. They won't have another one until turn 7. And then they've got a couple of switchbacks where we saw a lot of passes being made yesterday. But to top it all off, lucky turn 13. You see it just at the top of your screen. It's a hairpin corner, and there's 2 to 3 real racy lines that you can take. It sets up for some incredible passes and some incredible last couple feet stretches, races all the way to the finish line, and we saw just that yesterday. So love this course out here at Motorsports Park Hastings. Love the entire crew out here at MPH as well. We had a couple of safety concerns yesterday, some riders going down, and as always, the MPH crew does what they do. They have spotters out there, great communication between their safety team as well, bringing out that red flag, getting things cleared up, and getting us back racing as quickly and safely as possible. As we take a look at the Advent Black live drone, looks like we've got race number 1 heading out for their warm-up lap. Now, if you're just joining us here for the Bagger Racing League, first of all, welcome. Strap in. It's going to be another great day of racing here in the opening weekend of 2026. But a warm-up lap given to our riders, an opportunity to kind of feel things out on the machine, warm those tires up, and then they will line up on our grid before we throw the first green flag of the day. Love this doubleheader format as far as the weekend goes. Really gives us a bit more to go off of when we walk away from the weekend. Don't get me wrong, single event weekends are great. They're quick, right? That you got to make the most of limited time. But the doubleheader weekend I love because you kind of have an overnight opportunity to do some homework. We have several riders. Levy Batty, who you just saw make his way across the screen, not having the race in this Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Baggers class that he was hoping for yesterday. He's trying to turn that around here on day number 2. So this doubleheader format, you see some people say, hey, I missed the mark a little bit on day 1, but I know exactly what I need to do to get set up here for round number 2. And beautiful Sunday here in Hastings, Nebraska. You can see a little bit of remnants of our Adventure Cross course. We'll tell you all about that a little later in our program. A great opening weekend for that as well. But right now, our riders making their way around here for the Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Baggers class. Now this is one of my favorite classes, and it's, I believe, the fastest growing class in the Bagger Racing League. Year number 6. It's continued to get bigger and bigger and bigger, which we love to see, the growth, the new faces showing up year after year, and it's getting so big now that we gave it its own class here. So it is kicking off the program, and this class, the top 3, if you finish in, on the podium, you get the opportunity to line up with the best of the best in our finale for the afternoon, our Andrews Bagger GP, and of course our Pirelli Pro Stock class as well. So a lot to race on just besides the overall class finish. You get an opportunity to really test how you are against arguably the best in the world. And taking a look right now, Levy Batty up on the inside, pole position, Joey Robinson and Sean Hoffman sitting right next to him. There you see Batty on your screen. And if you remember yesterday, Batty got a great start, got out front, but an unfortunate tip over going to take him out of the race. Row number 2, Jake McGuire back with us as well. Had a fantastic start to the 2026 season. Mike Corey and Joe Beavers lined up next to him, and then Dylan Paget and Caleb Childers rounding out row number 3. As the green flag flies, we are officially off and rolling for day 2 of the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers presented by Memphis Shades. Who is going to grab the lead headed into turn number 1? Looks like it came from that outside. That might be Sean Hoffman trying to make some quick moves, and I believe it is the 27 of Hoffman after a solid run yesterday, looking to try to capitalize here today. And how about it? He has hit the ground running, taking off here at the front of his Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Bagger class. So Hoffman going to try to settle into a pace here on lap number 1. Looks like that might be Batty in the number 2 spot. And I believe that's Joey Robinson right behind on the 55. So the heavy hitters up front early. Batty not quite getting the jump off of the line that we saw from him yesterday. And no, I believe that might actually be Jake McGuire, if I'm not mistaken. I recognize the green from yesterday. So the 718 of Jake McGuire, if I'm not mistaken, now in that number 3 spot, trying to catch back up to Batty, who has broken away just a little bit. And this is all just still lap number 1. How about it? Love to see this. And this is what we talk about, the excitement here in this Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Bagger Classes. Look at this. McGuire comes under fire. Was that the 55 of Robinson? It was. Joey Robinson making a move early on this one before they get to the strike. These switchbacks, like I said yesterday, especially in some of our later classes, so many passes right here. And then this, lucky turn 13, this is the big one. Relatively evenly spaced right now for our top 5 as they get ready to complete our opening lap. But best believe that is where things get slicey and dicey. Once those final few laps commence, the white flag comes out. It is wide open as, here we go, taking a look. Like I said, that left-hander first corner. We'll get you an updated top 5 on the top of the screen. So McGuire getting shuffled back just a little bit. Robinson, Batty still up there in the mix as well. Gotta wonder, Batty not quite having the race we talked about. Really solid start, looked great up front after grabbing that top qualifier position, but unfortunately found himself down. Had a great race later in the day, but gotta think wants to make the most out of this one here on round number 2 and is in a great position for the moment. Just trying to hang tight here and maybe click off a couple of laps as well. 8 laps here for our Super Street Baggers class. Big shout out to Barnett Clutches and Cables for the title sponsor of this class. Like I said, the fastest growing class here in the bagger racing league. So great to see every year. I mean, there's 2 or 3 new faces, and then you have names like a Jake McGuire, who has come back and is really showing he is meaning business here in 2026. Podiums are I think what he's going to take is the bare minimum, and I think he's coming for wins and a championship. So excited to see what McGuire's got in store for the rest of 2026. Right now, how about it? Pretty evenly paced, it seems, here at the front of the field. And like we said, your top 3, if you finish in a podium position here in the Super Street Baggers class, you have the option, don't have to, but you're allowed to line up for that final race of the day in our Bagger GP and Pro Stock Baggers class. So could be seeing these riders once again. They're in that final race of the afternoon. But for right now, everybody just focused here on the opening race of day number 2. And there you see on your screen your top 5 here for the Barnett Clutches and Cables. Super Street Bagger, Sean Hoffman, Leafy Batty, Joey Robinson, Jake McGuire, and Mike Corey. See, it looks like Batty starting to push just a little bit more. You can see the body language from him moving around on that bright machine. Just on the attack. I tell people all the time, you come to one of these BRL events in person, it's just the noise alone, you feel it in your rib cage. It's just moving you when these machines come by wide open. And Sean Hoffman, working with the Suburban Motor Harley-Davidson group, actually spent much of the night, and I mean a lot of the night, staying up to help repair the machine of Cody Gilmore out of our Andrews Bagger GP class. So Hoffman pulling double duty, racer by day, mechanic by afternoon and night, and then racer by the next day as well. So Hoffman fueled up right now on getting the job done, and he is doing just that. An incredible showing here on day number 2. Levy Batty still back there in that number 2 ride. Look at how far he had that machine leaned over. Joey Robinson overtaking for that number 3 spot. And then McGuire back there at 4 with Corey rounding out your top 5. Starting to work their way into some lap traffic, it looks like, as well. We've seen this before as well, just the small little change of the race line. I mean, it can be 6 to a foot at most, and it can completely change the feel. It can catch the rider off guard. We've seen those kinds of mistakes happen late in these races, as we're probably close to, if not maybe just a little past the halfway point. Here for race number 1, the Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Bagger class. Sean Hoffman leads the way over Levy Batty, Joey Robinson, Jake McGuire, and Mike Corey. And I think Hoffman kind of catching some people off guard with this one. I mean, I knew he was capable of it, but, man, I'm not going to lie. I kind of thought he'd get a start, get out front, and then maybe get kind of reeled in a little bit on that opening lap or so. As there it is, halfway. And right now, Hoffman, he's not holding anybody up. He's not riding defensively. He is on the charge. So how about it? Sean Hoffman, like I said, staying up all night last night to help repair the machine of Cody Gilmore, working with that Suburban Motors Harley-Davidson group. And, man, still getting it done. This is one he's got to be fired up about. Levy Batty, though, certainly not giving up as we are only halfway. Still plenty of time for something to happen. And our Advin Black live drone doing a great job of showing you how that gap is fluctuating. And don't forget, the points a big part of this as well. Doubleheader weekend, a lot of opportunity here. And Batty coming off of a very disappointing opening round. So wanting to make the most and at least turn it around for a win on day number 2. But I'm telling you what, Sean Hoffman looking mighty comfortable out front and certainly not looking like he's planning on handing anything over. So if Batty wants it, he's going to have to take it. Making their way back towards the mid part of this course, like we talked about. A couple of switchbacks here as they exit out of 10 into 11. And this section right here, really, you're going to start to see the racecraft of these riders as they go through sections like that right there. They're on the attack, trying to find an opportunity. We saw so many beautiful passes made. And then, of course, like we talked about, this turn 13, you talk to the folks here at Motorsports Park Hastings, they say that could be one of the most difficult corners in the country. That's right. I'm not saying the state, I'm saying the country, just because of how technical the approach is, the difference in lines. So, I think there's still even locals that argue over which line is the fastest. How do you approach that corner the best? And so another great, kind of a great closing, if you ask me. The last quarter of a lap here at MPH is just wide open, and you see so many of these riders just kind of biding their time, trying to get as close as they can, and then that last quarter of a lap, it is wide open, everything you got. Right now, these two going toe-to-toe still. Sean Hoffman managing this race from the front, looking extremely comfortable out in front of this Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Bagger class. Taking a look, Joey Robinson still back there in the number 3 ride. Jake McGuire, going to be trying to charge forward, at least wants to end up on the podium. But Mike Corey, also back there in the number 5 spot, I'm sure would love to creep up one position as well, at least. Meanwhile, on your screen, continue to watch Sean Hoffman. Calm, cool, and collected right now, as he is managing this race. Got just enough of a gap to where he's not having to ride protective. I'm sure you can probably hear Levy in some of these corners. But just seems, even if he is losing a little bit of time, Levy's kind of running out of opportunities here. I believe it should be the white flag the next time around. So Batty going to have to push just a little bit more. And like I talked about, don't forget, maybe a little bit of shake over there from day number 1. Batty just wanting to see a checkered flag in this one. Thinking big picture, as still have all of 2026 to go. Rob said it best earlier in our opening ceremonies. You can lose the championship here on round number 1, but you certainly can't win it. So Got to balance that risk versus reward, but Hoffman right now says, you know what, I got the start, led them into turn 1, and from that point decided this clean air feels pretty good. Making their way to the backside of this track once again. Little bit of lap traffic up in front of Hoffman. Gonna go a little wide around the outside there. Looks like maybe Batty actually kind of taking advantage of that just a little bit. You saw those other riders check up. Once they realized it was Hoffman that was there, Batty able to kind of just skirt right around him. Again, it just kind of seems like this gap is yo-yoing though. Batty makes a little bit up, and then it seems like Hoffman able to just get a bit more of a drive out of some of these corners. Like I said, should be white flag next time around, headed into turn 13. Batty's on the charge, no question about it. It seems like he's gotten the memo. Gotta wonder, was he kind of saving it for that last effort, wanted to get around Hoffman and not give him an opportunity to try to make it back up. Hoffman stretches the cables there on that straightaway, really powering down. Another lap rider up ahead. Could this help Batty? Ooh, look at this. Hoffman gonna have to change the approach just a little bit. Was that a glance back? Headed into the wide open section of this course. Oh, no question about it. The Advent Black live drone catches it perfectly. Look at this, Batty. What? It's like a new rider. How about this? Up the inside now. Levy Batty going to take the lead on the final lap. Right there in what looked to be about turn 4. So what does Hoffman have in the tank? Is he able to put up any kind of a fight? As now a couple of bike lanes separate the two. Man, talk about managing your time. Levy Batty, it seemed like literally turn 13 right before the white flag came out. He just said, okay, it's go time, and started eating into that gap. As now they're only a few corners away. This could be a shakeup here on the final lap. The Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Baggers class. You see why everybody's getting the buzz about this class. So exciting to watch. Final corner, lap rider up ahead. What's Levy going to do? Kind of rolls up the inside, and looks like Hoffman knows there's nothing he can do. There it is, Levy Batty going to grab the win here on day number 2 in your Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Baggers class. Sean Hoffman going to finish just behind in the number 2 spot after a fantastic race. Man, you got to give some props to both of them. Batty stayed so patient right there. Seemed like he knew he had just a little more in the tank, and when he needed to, made it happen. Meanwhile, Hoffman did everything he could, tried to manage from the front, but ultimately just wasn't quite able to match the attack from the number 8. Looked like that might have been Robinson that crossed the line in the number 3 spot. Get ready for a race recap coming up. There you see the first checkered flag of the day. Look at that little drag racing across the line. Man, wait a second. That's McGuire. Can't quite see who's on the outside, but man, they were toe-to-toe, wheel-to-wheel. There you see it. I love it. These guys pumped up about it. Finish line flagger was pumped up about it. How can you not be? Toe-to-toe racing as we take a look at your Red Line Oils race recap. The first green flag of the day. Round 2 officially off and rolling, and it was Sean Hoffman from the outside of row number 1, leading them into that left-hander. Sweeps across, carries the momentum, and comfortably places himself in the number 1 ride. McGuire was in the number 2 spot. Levy Batty would quickly make the pass, though, and start to try to sink his hooks into the back of your leader. Right there you see Hoffman maybe catching some people off guard with his performance here today. Looked so comfortable out front, was not struggling with any kind of pace, and it took quite a while before you started to see Levy Batty even chip into this thing a little bit. Meanwhile, McGuire would end up dropping back into the number 4 ride behind Joey Robinson. But headed late into this race, just about the time the white flag got ready to come out, it was like Levy Batty knew he needed to make something happen. You see him kind of managing a gap, a second or two at most, and it really didn't seem like there was anything he could do with it. But then all of a sudden, massive chumps start getting taken out of it. He pulls up alongside, and up the inside he goes. Levy Batty takes the lead on the final lap of racing. From there, able to manage a few bike length lead. And there you see, turn 13, Hoffman tried the approach up the inside, couldn't get the machine turned, gave it everything he had, but it would be Levy Batty grabbing the win. Hoffman going to settle for a solid second-place finish. Your Alpine Star top 10 shows us the rest. Joey Robinson rounds out your podium. Mike Corey, Jake McGuire, your top 5, with Joe Beavers, Dylan Paget, Matt DeNoyer, and Caleb Childers rounding out your top 10 for your Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Baggers class. All right, well, we're going to grab a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have podium interviews with our top 3.
We're Advan Black, industry leader in color-matched performance bagger parts.
For over a decade, we've been building premium parts and accessories for baggers. Designed for riders who demand more from every mile. Advan Black. You choose the destination, we handle the rest.
Drive anywhere on the Dueler AT Ascent tire. With rugged sawtooth edges designed for on- and off-road adaptability. Bridgestone innovation in all terrain.
From the sun-drenched coasts of California to the stormy plains of the Midwest and the misty peaks of the Appalachians, this beautiful nation gives us all kinds of weather, but nothing the American Elite 2 can't handle. When the skies open up, confidence comes alive. This is a true long-haul tire, engineered precisely for unpredictable elements along the way, providing exceptional grip and stability when it matters most. American Elite 2, built for the ride.
This broadcast of the Bagger Racing League is brought to you by Yuasa Battery, DP Brakes, Icon, Alloy Art, Motion Pro, Bridgestone, Andrews Performance, Ultra Cool, Pirelli, Advan Black, Redline Oil, and Dunlop. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to round number 2 of the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers presented by Memphis Shades. We just wrapped up with our Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Baggers class, and we've got our very own Rob Ida standing by down at the podium.
Well, thanks a lot, Zach. We're down here on the podium yesterday. Joey Robinson, top step, back on the podium, round number 2 of the BRL. What was different between yesterday and today?
I just got a bad jump and couldn't get out of my head after that, and I had nothing for Sean and Levi. They were gone. Obviously not how we want to wrap up the weekend, but we're still in the points fight. We're up on the podium, so there's not going to be any complaints from me.
I couldn't help but notice yesterday was the fist pump coming across the line. Today it was massive wheelie you pulled. That was strong.
Yeah, that's where we come from, dude. We're stunt riders first and foremost, but now we're turning racers. While I have you, I just want to give a shout out to my wife who's at home with her 6 months old, allowing me to be out here chasing my dreams. Joe, Catherine, Aaron, Jay, Chris, all you guys, Snowball. I watched all of you work your butts off last night, and we couldn't be doing what we're doing without you guys. So we're very thankful. Thank you, Rob, the whole BRL team, for making this a reality for all us racers.
Well, let's hand out some hardware. Paula Fox has the number 3 place here. We'll slide over here to the number 2 spot. Sean Hoffman yesterday back on the podium today, running up front. It was almost like a role reversal with your teammate over there. Great ride.
Thank you. Yeah, I just decided to turn it up a little bit today, and that was a wild ride, trying to hold off Levi, and he finally got me on the last lap. But there's so many people I want to thank: Mom, Dad, my wife, my baby who's sleeping amazingly. Joe, Catherine, the whole Suburban team, Jim and Judy, Fueling, S&S, Ultra Cool, Precision Harley Davidson, Ben over at Impact's got this thing running like an absolute monster.
Tell you what, congratulations, Paula. I know she's in the vicinity. Here she is with the hardware. Nice round of applause. Sean Hoffman, second place. Picking up the number 1 plate today, Levy Batty. Levy, congratulations. Exciting race there. Comes down to about the last half lap. What did you find?
Yeah, I mean, I got a pretty good start, but they beat me to the first corner, and I decided to lay low a little bit, just try to see what was going to turn out. And yeah, he started pulling away, so I said, oh no, I'll kick a gear in. So I went to follow him and just try to keep him on a distance. You know, it's 8 laps. It wears you out. I mean, especially on these heavy machines. And no, I mean, I'm glad coming to that last lap. I think, you know, we both got a little tired, was just trying to fight, and came down half a lap. I saw the opportunity and passed him, and I held him off for the rest of the lap. So yeah, I want to thank, you know, my wife again, first and foremost. She's watching. She's actually working right now, but I want to thank my father-in-law, my parents at home too. I want to thank Rob here from Bagger Racing League for having me out here. It's a great time. Thank you, Speed Farm, Hog Halters Incorporation, Travis Wirtz from Wirtz Financial, KYT. We'll have Barnett Clutches, 77 Cycles, Blood Lubricants, DP Brakes, Lorca Gas Down, B-Tubo, and the guy who sponsored from back at home in Belgium, Travo Olivier. Thank you for making this all happen too. So if I forgot anyone, Bikers Brewhouse, you know, thank you guys all. I'm happy to put it on the podium today. Yeah, they put up a good fight.
Congratulations. Paula Fox has your number 1 trophy. We're not done yet, I don't believe. Where's Jeff Bailey? This is one of the funner parts of the whole entire get-together. Jeff is handing out the big check. Over there picking up some money. Folks, the podium down here is stacked. We're going to re-rack it. Get ready to go racing. Back to Race Central.
To our podium finishers here from race number 1, our Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Baggers Class. Well, another rider we want to give a little light to is none other than Joe Beavers. He finished 6th in that race, but we were able to catch up with Joe a little earlier this weekend and talk to him about his story here at BRL.
You know, as we get into the race season, it's fun to run into some of the familiar faces around here. My friend Joe Beavers is here. Now, all winter long, a lot of these guys, they couldn't train. They're in the gym. You're ice racing. You're racing indoors in Milwaukee. Do you take any breaks?
No. It's just no, Rob. I never take a break, no.
So no breaks. What you did, though, is work on this bike all year long, got a fresh coat of paint, whole new look, whole new livery. You're looking pretty solid.
Yeah, I figured, you know, I had to ruffle your feathers all winter long saying I'm going to sell it, but I had to change it up to come back to see your pretty face this year.
Well, not just ruffle it up. There's so many of these bikes right now that people are asking, where can I buy one? Where can I get one? People are trying to find their way in. Now, a lot of these companies, they'll have companies, whether it's Tucker Speed, Suburban, Harley, on the list goes on and on, of places that'll build it. But you do this yourself. You're a one-man and a daughter operation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm as privateer as they make. You know, everything's like me, and then the daughter, you know, she keeps everything in line, and, you know, just build it as it goes, and hopefully she works.
Well, we know that the bike's worked in the past. We wish you good luck in 2026. And anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Just you, Rob. Thanks for having us. Thanks for coming back 2026, having this series again. Let's just keep it making it even bigger and have fun with it.
Joe Beavers down in the paddock here in Hastings, Nebraska.
All right, great stuff down there with Joe, and a great result as well inside the top 10. Another rider finishing up inside the top 10 is Matt DeNoyer, who we were able to catch up with a little earlier this weekend as well.
It was a short time ago. We're at the race. This Indian Challenger, to my right on TV, probably your left, was a bike that Matt DeNoyer said, you know what, I'm going to come out and see what goes on. So he come out, he gets the bike ready to go. They head out to the track. And before the end of the day, you bought this bike, and now you're fully hooked by the racing craze.
Yeah, thanks to being set up from you. As soon as I got off the track, you came over and asked me if I was ready to get into this, and apparently I was. So.
You know, we've talked to a couple of the racers up and down here about what it is, and, you know, they talk about the track days, they talk about, you know, getting ready to come out to the race, but what you do is you kind of live a different life. Your job has you constantly working, and then when you have some downtime, you're working on your bike, your trailer, your racing apparatus. You're a busy, busy man.
I try to stay busy. Yeah, the workflow is usually 6 to 7 days a week for schedule-wise, 10 to 12 hours a day. 2 to 3 months at a time. So I'd get through January through March. I was wrenching on this thing at the end of the day after coming home and playing with the kids a little bit, putting them to their bed. And then when it came time to get it back together, there was only 3 days left, and I realized that I needed to kick it into high gear and start moving.
So time management was critical right here. You got the bike done. You made it out here. You put a whole new look on it. I know that you've been getting ready to go ever since the last race of last year. So big things for this year?
Oh, yeah. Biggest things, I switched over to GP shift, trying to learn that without blowing any motors through the moon or sending any pistons through the moon. There's a lot of learning curves for a new guy on a track, and I'm just trying to pick the best lines off of the best riders and follow them into the corners and get it done.
Well, Matt, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us out there. Best of luck to you in 2026.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
How about it? Great to hear from Matt DeNoyer, doing a great job here this weekend as well. Now, a rider that we actually have talked about some here on Racer TV, up in the mix, battling for some podium spots and finishing up inside the top 5 was Mike Corey. We want to give Mike some love as well. We were able to talk to him a bit earlier this weekend.
As we make our way up and down Vendors Row here, looking at all the different riders and factories and teams and sponsors that are here, we come across the number 41. Last year, Mike Corey, the BRL Rookie of the Year. He rides in the Barnett Super Street class, and he is loaded and ready to go for 2026. Welcome back to the track.
Thanks, Rob. I appreciate it. We're excited to be here. We made some changes to the motorcycle, and we're excited to put them to use this year.
You know, we were talking to some of the other teams. They'll make the change, but a lot of them have to physically wait to get to the track to see if they went the right way, the wrong way. There's so much effort that goes into it, and yet we have so little time to ride them.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we were able to make the changes that we wanted. We weren't able to test. We got the bike loaded up, brought it out here, and the last session that we went out, that was our practice session, and shook the bike down. Everything worked out pretty good. We liked the changes that were made. Made a couple more adjustments, and now we're ready to go.
You know, so many of the guys and folks that are at home right now, they're tuning in, watching around, they're like, hey, I should do that. What would your advice be to somebody that's really getting started? They have a street bike, maybe they've done some of the upgrades to it, but they don't know if it's a track bike, they don't know if it's a street bike. What would you suggest?
What I suggest is go into a local track, get with an organization, and just do a track day. I mean, you got to get your feet wet. If you have a performance bagger or a softail, just get on the track, and then you'll figure out, like, hey, I love this or I don't like it, you know, and that's the first step, getting out there and doing it.
So, folks, if you're at home and you want to be part of it, first suggestion, you heard it here from Mike, go to a track, get yourself some of the best protective gear you could find, get out there and just see how much fun it could be. As you start making the improvements, would it be ride height, would it be suspension, would it be brakes, tire, what would you kind of rank some of the top 4 or 5 things that make the biggest change?
So suspension's number 1. You need a good suspension. Once you have your good suspension, then brakes are number 2. Once you have that figured out and you're riding the bike to its ability, Then you can start playing with ride height. Then you can start playing with performance. But the biggest thing is suspension is number one.
Well, you heard it here first. Suspension number one. If you're out there checking it out, make sure you do all the research you can. There's some great companies out there, and we want to see you at the racetrack. Best of luck to you in 2026, and have fun this weekend.
Thank you so much, Rob. Appreciate you, buddy.
Mike Corey down here on Paddock Row.
All right, great stuff there from Rob and Mike, as well as now we get ready for our second race of the day. Got one of my favorites here. Got a mix of a couple of classes. We've got our middleweight Superbike, our air-cooled twins, as well as our DP Brakes liquid-cooled twins getting ready to take to the track, or on track on your screen here from the Advan Black Live drone. Once again, want to thank you all for tuning in here on RacerTV.com. A picture-perfect day here from Hastings, Nebraska. Motorsports Park Hastings celebrating 20 years in 2026. You see Drew Jankert there on the number 11. A solid day for him yesterday in a wide variety of classes. And speaking of wide variety, you can see by the different machines, quite a variety of weapons being brought to the fight here in this second race of the day. Warm-up lap underway. One last opportunity. You see the riders kind of moving around back and forth, warming up as much of the tire as they can. Looks like that's the 696 of Chris Muck, who had a great day yesterday as well. Muck doing a great job in a couple of our classes as they approach turn 13 and get ready to get locked in on the grid. We take a look. Pole position, it is this 34 of Seth Dahmer in that number 1 spot. Chris Muck in the number 2 position, and Teddy Honan qualifying in that number 3 position back on row number 3. Drew Jankert, grabbing that pole position. Vincent Wilson and David Lancaster. And Wilson and Jankert actually teammates, not only competing against each other, but racing with each other, and spent all afternoon and evening yesterday helping each other out, working on their machines. So interesting to hear that so many of our riders doing a lot of tweaking and adjusting from day 1 to day 2. Sounds like everybody feeling like they could dial the machines in just a little bit more. And then back there on that final row, Chase French on the inside on that number 440 ride, Carl Wilhelm and Douglas Turah rounding out your field. As there you see Jankert on the number 11 ride. There is the 48 of Vincent Wilson, his teammate we were talking about. As you can see, all eyes up. 30-second board is out, going to turn to 15, and we are going to throw a green flag here on race number 2, middleweight Superbike air-cooled twins and your DP Brakes liquid-cooled twins class, as we are off and rolling. Jankert up the inside, but looks like that might be Muck on the 696. No, that's Vincent Wilson, so how about it? Jankert grabbing the pole shot yesterday, if I wasn't mistaken, but it's his teammate this time, Vincent Wilson. And how about a toe-to-toe? Spent all evening working on each other's bikes. Now they're going to find out who can get the job done as they both find themselves up front, making their way through turns 2 and 3. Look at this, though, rocketing up into the mix. 3 is a party here at the front of race number 2. Trying to slow those machines down. It is Jankert in the number 1 ride, Wilson in 2. And trying to see who that machine was around the outside. Through the switchbacks they go, turn 7. Now off into 8. Taking a look here, is that the 34 potentially of Dahmer, if I'm not mistaken? And that would make sense, your pole position qualifier. Dahmer on the hunt now and immediately to the back of Jankert. So the 34 trying to make some quick work here at the front of the field. Multiple classes out there at one time. Look at this, Dahmer on approach, a little bit wider entry. Let's see what he's able to do. Tucks in behind Jankert. Great job from the 11. Oh, almost ran up the back of him as Jankert going to lead that opening lap. Here's the middleweight Superbike air-cooled twins and DP Brakes liquid-cooled twins. No question about it now. Jankert and Dahmer. Mano y mano, less than a motorcycle separates them. Dahmer able to open it up a bit more here on these back stretches. Jankert able to open it up. Watch Dahmer here on that braking, though. Seems like he is just able to get that 34 slowed down a bit quicker. It's a Gixxer Suzuki in that number 2 position up against a Harley in the number 1 spot. So when I talk about variety, this is what we bring to the table here at BRL. Such a variety of machines. Look at this racing, though. So heads up riding from Jankert. Knew Dahmer was trying to squeeze it around the outside and just took the position back. So Dahmer going to have to go back to work at 34. Let's see what he's able to do here. Swings out wide. Not quite close enough to try to set up the inside for that next corner. Into 13 they go. Let's see. Dahmer able to just roll his way around these corners so efficiently. It seems like just not quite able to hang with the Harley on these straightaways. And Jankert knows it as well. Number 11 is using that power to his advantage. Look at this once again. I mean, just inches away from each other. Cannot stress how impressive that is here at the front of the field. Drew Jankert and Seth Dahmer. A table for 2 here at the front. 2 different classes, but still so much to race for. Once again, Dahmer getting a good drive here on this back section. This is a strong spot for the 34. Oh, he's right there. Let's see, does it set him up the inside? Not quite close enough. Jankert closes the door. Around 8 they go. Let's see. And man, Dahmer is just non-stop applying pressure. There is no breathing room at all for your leader. Once again, pulls up alongside. This time he's able to get it done. Wow, around the outside. Didn't even have to use that next left-hander. And Seth Dahmer overtakes for the number 1 spot. Now the question is, how can Jankert respond? The Harley going to have a little more horsepower on these straights. We're coming up into essentially the fastest part of the racetrack. This front straightaway, they go off into 1 and 2, and then from 3 essentially all the way up into 5 is going to play into the hands of Jankert. So let's see. Dahmer doing a good job of trying to open some space up through those corners. What is the number 11 able to do with that Harley power? Don't forget, oh, look at this. Gets the drive, a lap rider around or near Dahmer as well, so having to be pretty heads up there, but still maintains about a bike length or so. I don't know, that was Jankert's hot spot, I feel like. Thought he was going to be able to get a bit closer than that. Let's see. Can Seth Dahmer try to power away on this one from Drew Jankert? Race number 2, your middleweight Superbike air-cooled twins and your DP Brakes liquid-cooled twins class. I want to give a shout-out Chris Muck back there in the number 3 spot. Vincent Wilson has settled into the number 4 ride, and Teddy Honan rounding out your top 5 in this one. It's such a great race here at the front. Haven't wanted to glance away even for a second. Halfway flags are out on this one. Wow, it feels like a long 4 laps. As so much can happen. And Dahmer's getting to a good spot right now as well. The 34 not having to stress near as much. Needs to keep this section clean though right here. This is where Jankert's got an opportunity every single lap to use that power to his advantage. Gixxer Suzuki versus a Harley machine. This is a little glance back there from Jankert as well. That was interesting to see. Chris Muck still checks in that number 3 spot.
Meanwhile, though, look at this. Dahmer starting to find his flow here. You can tell, knows his breaking points, knows exactly what he needs to do. Taking a look at some of our other riders throughout the field. This rider, pretty cool opportunity here at Bagger Racing League. If you've never done a Bagger event before, you can show up. That rider right there we were just showing came all the way from Ohio. Took the class that we offer an instructional class here to kind of help you prepare, and then you can race that very same weekend, and that's what this rider right here is doing. So on your screen, big shout out to, I believe that's Carl Wilhelm on the number 22 ride. Carl, a Marine, if I'm not mistaken. So first and foremost, thank you to Carl and all of our military and first responders. But man, how cool was that? Talk about getting right into the action. Take the school, and at that point, let the Marine figure the rest out. Doing a great job, having a great time out here this weekend. So like we say, if you're watching here on site or if you're watching right here on Racer TV as well, and you've got one of these machines, I highly encourage you to go to baggerracingleague.com. They've got all the information as far as what machines qualify, what you need to do, what the best ways to start that process are. And then, of course, I can't stress enough our incredible sponsors, right? We've got a great sponsor page, and you guys can take advantage of that. That can help you get you on your way. Taking a look right now, though, Chase French on your screen, sitting in that 5th place spot, doing running multiple shifts out here. Got an air-cooled bike as well, if I'm not mistaken. Look at that. Did he just go off the track? Saw that back end locked up and dancing. He's already jumped back into the race, though. Great save from French. Man, we'll see if maybe we can get a replay of that. That was impressive heads-up riding right there from French. Is not sure what really happened. Just all of a sudden looked like the brakes were locked up. But no worries. Saved it. Kept it on 2 wheels and kept on rocking. So French going to continue to try to chase down Teddy Holden. Hold on to a top 5 position. Meanwhile, at the front, here we go, Seth Dahmer. Still looking pretty picture perfect on this one. You saw those opening kind of laps, figuring out. Had to get kind of creative to get around Drew Janker. Both of those riders extremely experienced, and you can see it in their riding as well. Everything, of course, clean, great sportsmanship between the riders, but a true kind of chess match, if you will, on track. Dahmer figuring it out, and then once he got some clean space in front of the number 11, he was pretty efficient with his ability to manage from there. You see him able to kind of slice through some lap traffic as well. Great heads-up riding. Didn't quite know how to anticipate where that bagger was going to go. And that's what it takes. Not always just about being the fastest. You got to be able to manage the environment around you as much as possible, and Dahmer doing just that. As gets ready to put another lap in the books. Shouldn't be long before we expect to see a white flag. And here we go. Let's see. There it is. Right on cue. White flag in the air. Here for race number 2, middleweight superbike air-cooled twins in your DP Brakes liquid-cooled twins class. Big shout out to Larry Mills and the DP Brakes crew. We were able to catch up with Larry a little bit yesterday, and man, you hear all of these riders talk about it. All the industry people talk about it. Everybody, I feel like in this industry, we talk about speed, right? Everyone wants to go fast and wants to talk about products that help you go fast. But just as important, if not maybe more so, in racing is getting the machine slowed down, especially when it comes to those massive baggers. And man, really been cool to see the technology develop over the years. DP Brakes been with the Bagger Racing League from the start. And, like we talked about yesterday, we had Larry Mills from DP Brakes on site, and we see Larry kind of popping in and out. We hear him mentioned a lot here on Racing TV, everywhere from Loretta Lynn's to GNCC's to J-Days to right here on Bagger Racing League as well. So love to see their continued support, and love to see Seth Dahmer on approach to a checkered flag here in this one. Made some moves. now just trying to manage a few more corners. Here we go. The Advent Black live drone. Going to pick it up, and checkered flag should be waving. It's going to be the 34 on the back wheel. Seth Dahmer gets the job done and grabs the win here in race number 2. Middleweight Superbike air-cooled twins and your DP Brakes liquid-cooled twins class. Now going to watch for the rest of the field to make their way across the line. Is this that Janker in the number 2 spot? Looked like Janker had some company as well, so how about that? Things get dicey down to the final few corners. Love to see it. Love the turnout that we've had so far here in 2026. Not even just the numbers, but the depth. I mean, so many riders now competing for wins. There you see the 666 machine. David Lancaster making his way across the line. Carl Wilhelm from student to finisher here this weekend at the Bagger Racing League. That's a pretty cool story right there. And gets the job done here today. As the checker flag flies here for race number 2, we'll have a race recap for you here in just a moment. Show you exactly how it all went down. Lancaster on that cool down lap. Love, like I said, these varieties in machines. Get to see so many different ways to ride this Motorsports Park Hastings course. Let's take a look. Your Redline Oil race recap for race number 2. Drag race heading into turn number 1. It'll be Vincent Wilson on the number 48 ride, making some quick moves and grabbing the early race lead, but it would not be long before the number 11 of Drew Chankard moved into the number 1 spot. Right there, you saw it. I told you it didn't take long. And when Janker got in the number 1 ride, we thought that could be it. Number 11 might ride off, but the 34 of Seth Dahmer said, hang on a second. Started picking the pace up little by little, and then all of a sudden started applying heavy pressure to Janker. The number 11 doing a great job of trying to ride a wide bike as much as he could, but at the end of the day, the pressure from Dahmer just a little too much, and 34 would eventually make the pass happen around the outside and make it stick. I believe this is it right here. And there you can see the momentum from Dahmer. At that point, just carrying the 34 on, began to open things up and was able to march his way to a checkered flag here in this middleweight Superbike air-cooled twins and DP Brakes liquid-cooled twins class here. Race number 2. We saw a couple of riders pushing the limits here. French locking that back end up. Once again, give him a shout out there for keeping it on 2 wheels. Ultimately going to go on to take the checkered flag, but here it was, the final lap of racing. And it would be the 34 of Seth Dahmer getting the job done, doing it with some style here for race number 2. As we take a look now at your Alpine Stars top 10, it's Seth Dahmer, Drew Jankard, and Chris Muck. Your top 3, Teddy Honan, Chase French, your top 5, with David Lancaster, Carl Wilhelm, Vincent Wilson, and Douglas Durrell rounding out your field. All right, folks, we're going to get ready for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have podium interviews. Oh, wait a second. Actually, going to have our riders ready right now as we get ready to send things down to Rob Bidas, standing by with our top 3. All right, actually still shuffling some machines around, so we are going to squeeze in a quick commercial break. We'll come back with our podium top 3 after this. This is the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers presented by Memphis Shades.
Performance isn't a trend, it's a lifestyle. At Tucker Speed, we live and breathe Harley-Davidson performance. From performance parts and accessories to riding gear and apparel, we carry everything we need to build a faster, harder running machine. But we don't just sell parts. We build, we ride, and we race with the parts we sell. Because real performance only comes from real experience. From complete engine builds, to suspension upgrades, to in-house dyno tuning and custom performance setups, our team is dedicated to pushing Harley-Davidson performance to the limit. Street or track, weekend rider or full race build, Tucker Speed has the parts, knowledge, and experience to take your bike to the next level. Visit tuckerspeed.com or bring your bike to the experts at Tucker Speed.
Make your mark with Memphis Shades, proud sponsor of the 2025 Bagger Racing League. From raw materials to the open road, our windshields and fairings are designed by riders and handcrafted in the heart of Tennessee. Whether it's cross-country or weekend rides, Memphis Shades lets you ride longer, look better, and enjoy every mile. Visit memphisshades.com to check out our full lineup and upgrade your ride today. Memphis Shades, style that works.
This broadcast of the Bagger Racing League is brought to you by Yuasa Battery, DP Brakes, Icon, Alloy Art, Motion Pro, Bridgestone, Andrews Performance, Ultra Cool, Pirelli, Advent Black, Redline Oil, and Dunlop. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to round number 2 of the 2026 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers. As you could see last night, there was a ton to celebrate, from 250 years of America to 20 years of Motorsports Park Hastings to 6 years right here at Bagger Racing League. A great time for sure. And speaking of great time, we're having a great time down on the podium where our very own Rob Ida stands by.
Well, thanks a lot, Zach. We're down here on the podium, the number 48 Barnett bike, third place. Vincent Wilson, another day where you're collecting points towards the big picture.
Yeah, Frank, unfortunately, we haven't managed to solve the issue from yesterday where the bike keeps going into a safety mode. But today, this weekend's just about finishing every race. We saw a checkered 2 days in a row, and, it could always be worse. And, the team's working really hard to get this bike remedied. And, hopefully next round at Gingerman, we'll be coming out swinging, and hopefully be, one spot over there on the first place would be kind of nice. And, I just want to say thank you to all of our team sponsors. I want to thank, Rob and Justin and, Phil back in California. And I want to thank Larry at DP Brakes and Frank and Barnett Clutches and Chance and Jen and Bridgestone and everyone who's, put a lot of effort into this bike to get it out here. And hopefully next round we can do some winning.
Well, we certainly hope to see you back on the podium. Paula Fox has your third place award. All right, champ. Okay, we talk about it often. You got to manage the championship. That means on your bad days, you might not get a win, but you maximize points. Dave, all weekend long, that's what you've been doing, managing this championship.
I was a little worried that he might have been paying, Vinny was playing possum over there, because his pace was still all right, and I'm thinking if he gets behind me, if he wants, he'd go around me. So I was kind of a little worried that he was playing with me out there a little bit.
Tell you what, you put in a solid ride 2 days in a row. You find yourself on the podium. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Everyone. First, DP Brakes, my family, Anthony's Leatherworks, Dunlop, Racer's Edge Performance, Dale and Cowboy over there for giving me some training this season. Heathen Nation, Lucifer's Garage, and Rider Gear. And, of course, Rob Bidas, the man.
Thank you very much. Paula, come on over here and give this man a second place award. We're going to move to the front of the podium here, and Drew Drankard. Now, this is starting to become kind of a habit now. We're standing in the middle portion of this thing. 50 points on the weekend, I believe. That is how you start a series.
Yeah, we're pretty happy with that. Can't be disappointed. The weekend's going pretty well so far. The bike's working well, and Alloy Art is putting a good machine underneath me. The Bridgestone tires we're hooking up, giving excellent grip, and Barnett clutches. I think we got a monster start there. So right off the bat, it was Seth and Vincent and I, and we were having a good battle there for a brief moment. Seth is just on another level as far as his riding, so it's good to watch him and see how well he's picked up the track here. But this bike is amazing. I gotta thank everybody that's put their effort into getting us here. Alloy Art and Barnett clutches, Bridgestone tires, DP brakes, FDR. Everybody that's helped us get here. We can't say thank you enough.
Well, saying thank you is what Paula Fox would like to do, and she's going to thank you with the first place award. If you gentlemen would please take to the podium over here, as we're down here on the podium at stop number 2 of the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers presented by Memphis Shades, I give you the Liquid Twins class.
All right, great stuff down there from the podium. A huge congratulations to our top 3 finishers. Well, like we said, a ton going on here in the opening weekend of 2026, not just on the Motorsports Park Hastings course, but around it as well. That's right, Adventure Cross is back here in 2026, and we had a ton of heavy hitters out here this weekend. 3 different classes available, and once again, we find a variety of machines out there as well. See some a little newer, some a little older, all extremely fun. And even get a little onboard action here we go from the MPH course to the fields alongside of it. Through some tires there. Look at that, no problem at all. Of course, adventure biking and adventure riding really taking over here in the last couple of years or so. It's maybe been more than a couple now, but man, really, it's just a ton of fun. There we see our very own OPAG. Look at that. How about it? We said he was lining up. I believe this is a pass for a number 2 position. A little GNCC style out there. It's less than 25 feet off the track, so everything was legal. But at the end of the day, the podium celebrations, it was Matt Ransom, a.k.a. Skittles, as we like to call him, at the top of each and every one of our classes. And interesting note, Matt and his buddy Justin Jumate, in the process of trying to go from Kansas to Dakar. That's right, to the Dakar Rally. So they've got a group set up called Kansas to Dakar. You can learn more about it online and show some support for Matt Ransom and Justin as well. They're trying to get out to Dakar. Who wouldn't like to support somebody named Skittles? And clearly, as you can see from those podiums, guy knows how to get the job done as well. Shout out OPAG, getting it up on the box, doing us proud. Don Hampton, I know you'll be out there soon, man. We'll get it lined up, no doubt about it. Well, looks like we are just about ready down on the podium. We've got our machine set up, and it looks like we've got our very own Rob Bidas standing by with our top 3.
Yeah, we're down here like we were yesterday. It's almost Groundhog Day. Teddy Hoonan down here again. And I got a feeling that with the rest of the races, we may see a return visit. But every time you're here, a brand new day, the points are out there, you're starting to chip away and going, you know what? I'm going to start to get up there. You mixed it up with these guys strong in that second race.
Thank you. It's a blast to be out here. Great chance to get some easy points for today. Happy to be out here on the 400. Obviously, I'm a little underpowered, but happy to be here.
You know, a lot of folks help you come to events like this. Who would you like to give some mention to?
Obviously, first and foremost, my family and everybody watching. Obviously, DP Brakes, Scott Short with Leroy Enterprises, just everybody in the pits. Nick especially has been helping me all weekend.
Well, congratulations, Paul. A third place award goes right here. Now, when you come out to races, you often find out that maybe some of these racers have a hidden talent. Maybe somebody plays the piano. Maybe somebody's a great chef. Somebody's an incredible welder. What if I told you I had one of the best pyrotechnics I've ever seen in the world? The fireworks show that was put on last night by the folks from Motorcycle Supply literally rivaled anything in the big cities, New York, LA. That was amazing. Then you come back out here today on the Aprilia, put another program together, and to top it off, you go triple hat. Is there anything you can't do?
Apparently get number one, but we'll work on that, you know. We had a good race today. I'm happy to be here. We had fun last night with the fireworks, so I appreciate that. It was just a good time. I got to thank Leroy Enterprises, who paints all our bikes, and DP for the awesome brakes, Bridgestone tires, of course, and Motorcycle Supply. Bill Kaiser takes care of us very well. So
he does do a great job over here. Paula has your award. Paula Fox stepping in. And we're going to slide one more spot over here, talk to the winner. Now, came to us a short time ago. He said, listen, I've got to drive all night long. I want to get back and do some more riding. Is that all you do is ride motorcycles, Seth Dahmer?
Yeah, I love riding motorcycles, and I try to do it as much as I can. And I couldn't do it all. Great people that helped me out with this program. Holden Brothers, Dark Horse, Spectral Oils, Larry at DP Brakes, Chance at Bernard Clutches. They're all great, and it really helps out travel a ton, and we get to keep riding.
What about that guy over there?
My dad?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I couldn't do it without him, too. He helps me out a ton.
He pays for everything. He helps you all the time. Folks, the #1 trophy right here in the center, Seth Dahmer. Big weekend. Congratulations, gentlemen. Step up on those podium spots. Zach, you got a big day because we got one more class to do.
All right, great stuff going on down there, Rob. The celebrations continue. We got to get the flick, got to get it for the gram. I know how it goes. Well, fantastic stuff going on. We talk about the opportunities provided to those who show up to a Bagger Racing League event in person. Let me break it down a little bit more for you. We've got our fan lap from, I believe this is earlier today, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, big shout out to the Motor Maidens for leading our fan lap. That is the longest running and I believe the largest female-led motorcycle club in the country, if I'm not mistaken. But here at Bagger Racing League, not just the country, North America, I'm being told. So how about that? The Motor Maidens keeping us in check and leading this fan lap. But basically, if it's got two wheels, you can get it fired up, and you can go out on this Motorsports Park Hastings course. You can get to see exactly where your BRL heroes are getting to ride at. And this doesn't just happen here at MPH. This happens at every single round of the Bagger Racing League. So like I said, find us on social media at Bagger Racing League. Go to baggerracingleague.com. Look at the 2026 schedule, circle it, plan it, and figure out a way to be here. And if you can, find a way to bring something with two wheels as well, and you could be right here on our fan lap as well. Always so cool to see the way Bagger Racing League continues to incorporate the fans. We talk about it, everything from the pit presence all the way to these things just like this right here. We've got our fan lap going on. We've got the grid walk that we do right before our final event of the day. All of this done to really give a unique experience to all of the fans here at the Bagger Racing League. A ton of fun had there, and a ton of fun continuing to be had right here on the podium, getting those last couple of machines set up right here in front of the big BRL banners. We'll let them get locked into position, and then we'll get the scoop there from their race here today. Another beautiful day here in Hastings, Nebraska for now round #2. And we've got podium #3 down with our very own Rob Bidas.
Well, thanks a lot, Zach. Carl Wilhelm, we talked about it yesterday, brand new to racing, but you're hanging on the podium every time we hang out. So you get another big finish. Made the drive from Ohio. You went through the Kaczynski School, the race school. Now you're here, and it's starting to pay off.
Yes, sir, it is. And I really can't thank Farrow's Harley, my sponsor, for getting me out here, my friends, my family, my girlfriend. She's my biggest advocate for this. And thank you to the BRL team, and thank you, Rob, for letting me be out here.
We certainly appreciate you being here. Paula, you have an award for my friend here? Us fellow Buckeyes got to stick together, and there's the award handed out. Let's slide on over to Chase French. Great ride. Doing double duty this weekend. Baggers, Softails. You just like to be in the action.
Yeah, I just like to ride anything with two wheels, and I want to go out there and try to beat my own record, which I don't know if you guys saw it, but I ran off the track trying to beat my own lap times, but we stayed up and made it here.
Don't worry, we caught it on film. You go back and watch it later. Anybody you want to give a shout-out to?
Moonshine Harley, like I said, building this bike, friends and family. We wouldn't be here without them, and you guys.
Well, thank you very much. Paula Fox stepping in with the first place. The air-cooled twins class as they take to the podium and hoist their trophies high atop their head. Zach, let's keep the action going. It's back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Rob. The celebrations continue down there on the happiest place on the property. That is the podium. Well, we're going to grab another quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will have more here from Day 2 and Round 2 of the 2026 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers, presented by Memphis Shades. We'll be right back with more racing.
Here's to the past wheelwrights, our forefathers. Like them, our lives are fixed on improving the oldest of technologies over and over. It is this cycle of a wheelwright's life that indeed helped make America and the world go round and boldly go forward. But our world is that of motorcycles. Since 1999, we've taken the wheelwright's heritage, craftsmanship, dedication, and pride in here with us, so our brothers and sisters can ride right. We set out to roll out improvements. We invented the Fat 50 for a stronger, beefier wheel that works better on the heavyweight cruisers. We invented our MHEs, modular hub ends, to add speed in wheel making so bikers can get their order faster than anybody. A new flexibility in customizing was born as we did this. With these swappable hubs, one's wheel became more interchangeable with other motorcycles. The three-wheel riders on trikes, Can-Ams or T-Rexes, for example, found the company that can match highly stylish motorcycle wheels with automotive ones. Demand increased. We grew. Refinements passionately made. Orders went out. Tests were aced. This has been our circle of life at Ride Right. We wheelwrights know little else. We're simple. A simple wheel company based in California. We're solid, stably rolling steadily as growing industry leaders. A reputation for making motorcycle wheels and warranty strong. A solidity to rest bikes and lives upon. Boundless, it expresses our wheel compatibility. It is how we feel as we move onward and upward. It's how Ride Right owners feel, and they roll on with freedom and confidence. It is the day of the specialist, experts in a class conscious of every nuance, focus rules. Our specialty is wheels, and wheels only. We respectfully carry the wheelwright legacy into our eccentric world by improving the rides of motorcycles and riders globally. We are proud wheelwrights, nothing more. We are Ride Right. Simple, solid, boundless.
This broadcast of the Bagger Racing League is brought to you by Yuasa Battery, DP Brakes, Icon, Alloy Art, Motion Pro, Bridgestone, Andrews Performance, Ultra Cool, Pirelli, Advent Black, Redline Oil, and Dunlop. Oh, yeah. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to RacerTV.com here from Hastings, Nebraska, the home of the Kool-Aid Man and Kool-Aid itself. And speaking of Kool-Aid, you can probably use some Kool-Aid after the action that we've had here so far today here from Motorsports Park Hastings, round 2 of the 2026 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers presented by Memphis Shades. We have wrapped up 2 races so far and currently getting ready to release race number 3 out on their warm-up lap. That is going to be our Unlimited Superbike and Next Generation Superbike as well. Race 3 going to be a ton of fun. You see Drew Jankert there on the number 11 ride. Looked like that was at the 14 pulling up alongside, maybe the 145 of Oliva. There you see the 6 of Teddy Holman. Everybody pulling up here to the pits, getting ready to head out. Love the camaraderie that we have here at the Bagger Racing League as well. I say it all the time. It's one of my favorite places to go watch. You see they got secret handshakes. They got so many teams and friendships and relationships built here throughout the BRL pits. Everybody staying up late to help one another. I believe we even had a podium interview yesterday. This place is the best place to forget something, to break something, because if it happens, you've got essentially an army of people right there to help you out, to back you up. So really cool to see the way the Bagger Racing League has continued to grow, the family of BRL continuing to grow as well here in now year number 6. And the racing just continuing to elevate as well. We've had so many battles in all of our classes. We've had so much progression in our classes now as well. And excited to see what the future holds for the Bagger Racing League moving forward. But right now, all eyes on course as warm-up lap underway for Unlimited Superbike and Next Generation Superbike. Teddy Holman going to be one to watch in this one. Your fastest qualifier, but if I'm not mistaken, it was Brian Haig who was the man to beat. I believe it's Haig. Maybe Haig. Rob will correct me. But I know, regardless, Brian going incredibly fast yesterday on the 79. Drew Jankert, of course, always a threat. I feel like Drew probably one of the most consistent in the field here at BRL this weekend. And then Rob Oliva, really cool story there with Rob, an employee of Parts Unlimited, and doing double duty, working there in the industry. Of course, big shout out to Parts Unlimited Drag Specialties for all they do here for the BRL, and then not just talking about it, selling it, but also showing up and racing it as well. Really cool stuff going on there. Oliva qualifying in that 4th place spot. Travis Wurz, we saw Travis having some solid runs as well, but I also believe we saw Travis go down yesterday at one point, so hopefully the 96 going to be able to jump back up and make something happen here in day 2. John Duzer, Alexander Wirtz, Matt Denoyer, and Ron Mears out there as well as our riders starting to approach the grid here after that warm-up lap. Everybody funneling into position. Watch Jankert on this start here. We've seen a lot of good jumps from the outside of road number 1, so might have qualified 3rd. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Keep our eye on you, number 11. All right, we'll be watching out as Jankert going to try to make something happen from the outside, headed into turn number 1. As looks like our Redline Oil 30-second card is out. Here we go. Gets ready to flip over to the 15. And we get ready to rock. Grid clear. Redline Oil card, there it is, flipping around. Flag is officially off the way. Race number 3, Unlimited Superbike, the Next Generation Superbike, off and rolling. And can I say I called it? Because I called it. The number 11 of Drew Jankert using that outside of row number 1. Going to grab the early race lead. Looks like Oliva in the number 2 spot on the 145 ride as well. So a bit better start for Oliva here today. Now finds himself in the number 2 spot. Looks like that might be Honan in 3. And maybe Hagee in 4. They may actually be flip-flop. Not quite sure. That might be Hagee. I recognize that from yesterday. We saw the 79 making a lot of passes on the entries into these corners, just able to carry a bit more momentum. I'm not sure if he can get the machine slowed down more or if he's just comfortable carrying more speed, but man, those corners just absolutely lethal
for the 79 ride. And best believe the number 11 of Drew Drankard knows it as well, as he is trying to run away and hide here. See the sense of urgency up in front of the field. All of them now start to come under pressure for that number 2 spot. Sure enough, it is the 79 of Hagee starting to creep forward. Wait a second, though. How about it? So the national sales manager over at Parts Unlimited currently sits in the number 2 spot, so he can get the job done on track, just like he can get it done in the sales as well. Meanwhile, the battle is on between Honan and Haig. This is actually helping Oliva and Jankert. These two battling it out for the number 3 spot. Look at this. Once again, Honan tries to peek around the outside, can he come back underneath the hill, exiting turn 2. No, not quite enough in the 79 of Haig. Able to open it up and touch down that straight. Meanwhile, Jankert, you guys can fight all you want over that number 2 spot. I am trying to break away in the number 1 ride. Look at this, though. A look over the shoulder from Jankert. What was that? Not sure if he heard the roar of the field starting to creep up behind him or what, but Jankert glances back, and you can tell it cost him a little bit on time as well. Meanwhile, Oliva pushing to maintain this number 2 spot, knows he's got to stay sharp, but Brian Hagee going to be right there as well. And look at this, he's not just settling for the number 2 spot. Jankert better watch out, as he is getting a lot of company. Let's see a little bit more up the inside. Not quite close enough there. This could be an opportunity for Hagee. We talked about this turn 13. So crucial to get a good drive on exit. Look at this. Oh, it's a drag race headed into turn number 1. Who's it going to be? How about it? Jankert leaves the brakes off, and the Harley makes a comeback on the sport bike machines, but it's not done yet. That red 79 machine, open the throttle up, and there it is. Absolutely rockets into the number 1 ride. Brian Hagee, can't argue that one. The power was there. Oliva and Jankert still up there inside the top 3, and don't count out Teddy Honan. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4 right there on your screen. It's Haig, Jankert, Oliva, and Honan rounding out your top 4. But for how long? Look at this. There's a pass for the number 3 spot. Oliva finds himself slipping back off of the podium, as Honan, your top qualifier, now finds himself in the number 2 ride. Let's see what he's able to do with Drew Jankert. If he can make a quick pass, Hagee not that far up ahead. They could duke it out for this class win here today, round number 2. Of your unlimited Superbike and next generation Superbike. Watch the Harley. Gonna grab a big handful of throttle here down the front stretch. Honan locks in, tries to get as aerodynamic as possible. Oliva actually starting to surge a little bit back there in the 4th place spot, not settling in. Fighting for the lead just a lap or so ago, now just trying to hang on to a podium position. Look at this, the 145 with some life late in this one. Oliva knows, gotta at least stay close to Honan in that number 3 ride if he wants a chance to fight for the podium late in this one. Completely locked in on Drew Jankert. You see Teddy Honan rocking those overall leathers. Always got a unique style about him. Makes him a ton of fun to watch. You ever seen a pair of overalls go over 100 miles an hour? Well, you can here at the Bagger Racing League. At the moment, trying to open this thing up and put the overalls at least into the number 2 spot. Through the switchbacks they go, headed to turn 13. Hagee, Jankert, Holden, and Oliva still hanging strong right there in that number 4 spot. Got to give some credit to the 145 ride. Certainly not out of this one, as I believe that was the halfway flags we just saw. So now it gets into the fitness side of things as well. We haven't talked about it quite as much here this weekend, but certainly necessary. Not only the physical fitness to be able to hang on and maneuver the machine around, but just the mental fitness as well. The ability to pace yourself through these laps. We saw it a little bit earlier. Levy Batty doing a great job of kind of managing his pace and his effort till the late parts of the race. So we'll see whether or not maybe Jankert going to be able to respond, whether Holden can put on a solid push up towards those top 2 spots. And then Oliva, we know how badly he at least wants to be up on the podium. You see him still desperately trying to hang on to this top 3. Back through the mid part of the track they go. Hagee, super solid. I do think there's been a bit of a resurgence from Jankert, though. I'm not going to lie. The 11 looks closer than he did just a little bit ago. As wait a second, Drew Jankert says, I'm not done yet. Settled down. I looked at some lines, and now the alloy art back Harley Davidson is marching his way back to the rear wheel of Brian Hagee. So Ducati versus Harley here in this one, race 3, Unlimited Superbike and Next Generation Superbike. The Ducati leads for the moment, but the momentum may be on the side of the Harley number 11, who you see has closed things in on this last lap. Kind of crazy because in the last time we saw Drew Jankert on track, this section right here was his strong area because of that power in the Harley. Meanwhile, this time against the Ducati, you can see just how strong the Ducati is. And look at that. Yeah, it was a glance on the wrong shoulder from Hagee. Hagee worried about what was going on behind him. Checked to the left, should have looked right, and Jankert said, won't even see me going. We talk about this all the time. Riders glancing back, how much it can cost them. We even saw Jankert do it earlier today. So now it is handed back, and you can tell the Ducati not happy about that one. A mistake. Going to give the lead back to Drew Jankert, who is ready to capitalize. I can't tell you enough, folks. This is not over. This Ducati has a ton of power, and we still have several laps left. Best believe Jankert knows it as well, though. He knows that gift does not come without a cost. As, let's see, Ducati tries to get a good drive, opens it up, going to pull up alongside and maybe even in front of, look at that, really opens up the Ducati. But Jankert actually able to close it right back up by the end of the straightaway, so loses the position but maintains a close gap within a couple of bike lengths of Brian Hagee. This is so much, we talked about the acceleration side of things, but like we talked about earlier as well, braking so crucial in this. These riders, I mean, if they can hang on for just a couple feet more before they're able to fully get on the brakes, if they're able to slow down just a little bit quicker, those are the things that make the difference. And we talk about the incredible teams, the incredible people that put together these machines, and those are the little differences that they're trying to make. And then, of course, you got to have a rider to be able to maximize, or that is capable of maximizing what the machine offers as well. So you can have the best bike in the world, but if you don't have somebody that's able to really make the most of the machine, it's just not quite going to cut it. Jankert needs to strike, though, here. He's starting to lose touch. A couple more bike lengths that he needs. Gotta wonder, I think it's the white, might be the white flag the next time through the finish line here, so that could be big. He wants a chance to hang on to Hagee. Let's see here. This is turn 13, so we will potentially see a white flag here in just a moment. Let's look. There it is. No question about it. One lap of racing left to go here for race 3. Unlimited Superbike and Next Gen Superbike. Janker got to go right now. Number 11. Just off the rear wheel of Brian Hagee. You can see the intensity there from the number 11. Crouch down. Full drive forward on that Harley machine, trying to chase down the Ducati. Number 79 of Brian Hagee. So solid. He's not out of this one. Like I said, it is far from over, but at this point, he's going to need a little mishap from Hagee, whether it just be a small lack of execution on Brian's part. And then meanwhile, we've got a battle in our Next Gen Superbike class as well. Take a look at this. Looks like Milroy, Jim Milroy Jr. in that number 1 spot for the moment, but he has got some company. Meanwhile, final corner for the top of Unlimited Superbike. Brian Hagee trying to hang on to a Janker. One last-ditch effort, not quite close enough as the Ducati opens up. And the Ducati and Brian Hagee going to grab the win here in race number 3. Unlimited Superbike and Next Gen Superbike. We'll continue to watch and wait. There is the battle for this Next Gen Superbike class. It is not over yet. The 61 got the position as they're on final approach, and it looks like it will be Jim Milroy Jr. going to hang on to the win. Just gets the job done. Man, so a great ride and a great fight in both of those classes. Trying to see, that might be Craig Bailey who was bringing the fight there to Milroy. As now we get ready for your Redline Oils race recap here from race 3, Unlimited Superbike and Next Gen Superbike. Janker from the outside of row number 1 leads them in to turn number 1. A great start for Rob Oliva, who put up a solid fight throughout this entire race. Was up in the mix for podium contention for quite a while as well. But Brian Hagee, after a so-so start, makes some quick moves and begins applying pressure to Teddy Honan. And how about it, trying to get a twofer. Gets around Honan, tries to run up the inside of the number 11 machine of Jankers, but Drew going to put up quite a fight as you see just how close the racing was at multiple points throughout. Jankers, certainly not an easy rider to rattle. You can put a ton of pressure on this guy, but you got to do what happened just right there. You got to take the position away from him. 79 does a great job of getting the power down. And from there, had to stay on his toes, could not let up at all, as the number 11 was there to capitalize. But at the end of the day, the Ducati power on the 79 of Brian Hagee, just enough. As you see, look at this. Hagee glanced over the wrong shoulder. That was the opportunity for Janker he needed. He kept in the fight, and he put the 11 back into the number 1 ride. But as soon as it had the opportunity, Ducati opened it up, got back into the number 1 ride, and at the end of the day, it would be the 79 machine grabbing the win. As we take a look now, your Alpine Stars top 10, Brian Hagee, Drew Janker, and Teddy Honan. Your top 3 with Rob Oliva and Jim Milroy Jr. rounding out your top 5, Craig Bailey, Bill Kazler, Alexander Wirtz, Rodney Mink, and Travis Wirtz rounding out your top 10. All right, folks, we're going to get ready for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have podium celebrations from your Unlimited Superbike and Next Gen Superbike right here at the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers presented by Memphis Shades.
We're Advan Black, industry leader in color-matched performance bagger parts.
For over a decade, we've been building premium parts and accessories for baggers. Designed for riders who demand more from every mile. Advan Black, You choose the destination, we handle the rest.
Drive anywhere on the Dueler AT Ascent tire. With rugged sawtooth edges designed for on- and off-road adaptability. Bridgestone innovation in all terrain.
From the sun-drenched coasts of California to the stormy plains of the Midwest and the misty peaks of the Appalachians, this beautiful nation gives us all kinds of weather, but nothing the American Elite 2 can't handle. When the skies open up, confidence comes alive. This is a true long-haul tire, engineered precisely for unpredictable elements along the way, providing exceptional grip and stability when it matters most. American Elite 2, built for the ride.
This broadcast of the Bagger Racing League is brought to you by Yuasa Battery, DP Brakes, Icon, Alloy Art, Motion Pro, Bridgestone, Andrews Performance, Ultra Cool, Pirelli, Advent Black, Redline Oil, and Dunlop. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to beautiful Hastings, Nebraska, here at Motorsports Park Hastings, as we just wrapped up race number 3, our Unlimited Superbike and Next Gen Superbike, and we've got our very own Rob Bidas standing by down at the podium.
Well, thanks a lot, Zach. We're down here on the podium. Teddy Hoonan, once again, what do we do? Honan, right? What do we do is you just come out here and podium every time we're here.
I just do my best.
Well, you did a great job out there. You guys put on quite a show for the fans here, back and forth, a lot of lead changes, outside line passes, so it makes it all worthwhile. Who you want to give a mention to?
Obviously, family first, my wife and kid, Bree and Tilly. I hope you're watching. Happy to put on a good race. The guys at Motorcycle Supply couldn't do it without them. They don't just supply the parts, they supply the riders too. DP Brakes, I don't think I have the sticker on there. Ducati Omaha, you guys especially. And Scott, of course. Leroy Enterprises.
Teddy, thank you very much. Paula Fox, we have a trophy here for you, and we're going to slide on over here to what is the most unique bike in this class. Now, I know so many people have heard the word Superbike. It came about, back in the day, they weren't sure what to do. The big GP bikes, they had Superbikes, and everyone was pretty sure that it was going to be a big inline 4, a massive V-twin. You're on a Harley-Davidson Pan American. What are you doing picking on these guys?
Yeah, back in the day where Superbike started, it was exactly this, high handlebar machines that they rolled off production lines and turned them into race bikes, and that's kind of what we have here is a high handlebar machine, and we've got some race bits on it, and we're taking it to the sport bikes, and so it's good to get this Harley up here on the podium. Had a good mix-up for the lead with Haggy, and man, it's a pleasure to share the track with those guys, and we really appreciate BRL having the sport bikes out with us, and we can all put on a good show together.
The thing was Robbie Lane and his crew back in the Sonoma day, the very first time a Pan American was ever taken to the track, They went down, picked it off a dealer floor, took a couple things off us, went out there, put on an amazing ride. Now here they are building Pan Americans that mix it up with, look at these things over here. These things are amazing. Big bore Kawasaki's, you name it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Alloy Art built an awesome machine. They produce awesome parts, and we are so appreciative of what they put together for us. And the companies that come together to help Alloy Art put this bike together, like Bridgestone Tires. I mean, this bike was hooking up awesome. I just set a personal best for me on this bike out here today. This weather is beautiful. We couldn't dial in better weather for the racing today. But yeah, Bridgestone, Barnett clutches, DP brakes. There's a list of people that help us out. I can't think of them all, but they are imperative to that we get here, and we couldn't do without them.
I'll tell you what, I know you want to get that award, so Paul, handing over the awards here. Okay. Now, I'm looking at the lap times here. Why, Brad Hagee? Because you guys are standing around down here on the podium. He mentioned he just got a personal best. You just got a personal best. You just got a personal best. Is it because the level of competition has stepped up that they are pushing you guys to the next level?
Oh, that's a huge part of it. You know, when you're riding against somebody like Drew, we all know he throws it down. You better bring it. And the tires, the temperature, everything helps today with as far as grip and confidence, and we can really lay it down. So it's been a good weekend.
It's been a great weekend for the folks at home. Who would you like to mention helped get you here?
Thanks to Premier Tree Professionals out of Omaha. They pay for me to be here. I really appreciate them. Ducati Omaha, and especially a big thanks to the BRL.
We certainly appreciate that going on. Paula, the first place trophy right here. She knows about those race stands just like me. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Superbike Podium here at Hastings, MPH, and the BRL. Back to you, Zach.
All right, thanks a lot, Rob. Great job down there at the podium as we see the celebrations underway. Hey, I want to give an opportunity to learn a little bit more from one rider just off of the podium. We talked about it a little bit. Rob Oliva, a solid start to that race, and we were able to catch up with Rob a bit more earlier this weekend.
In the BRL, we're constantly focusing on the baggers. But what about the sport bike guys? Rob Oliva, racer by day, national sales manager for Parts Unlimited by, well, all day. You find yourself here at the track. You brought out a bunch of friends, and you guys are ready to do battle.
Absolutely, we're ready to do battle. There's always this thing about, hey, the baggers are this, or the sport bikes are that, and I tell you, when we get out here and we start to mix it up, it's pretty incredible just how damn good the baggers are, right? And I think it opens up a lot of eyes, and we have a lot of fun together.
You know, you talk about the baggers, but let's face it, the sport bike has always been the cream of the crop of this field. There was an era in the mid-'80s, 86, 87, the early GSXRs. Then the ZX7s came out. Then Yamaha had the OWs and the VFRs, and I mean, the list goes on and on. The sport bike world is alive and well.
It's very alive and well, and I would say that even when you look at the marketplace right now, again, the day job, sport bikes are actually resurgence right now, right? There's a lot of stuff in the world. I mean, you got the Ninja 500. That bike is like redefined and moved Kawasaki into the top spot for street bike sales. So it was a sport bike market, very alive and well.
You know, one of the other things, and I know that you walk in this world quite a bit, the adventure bike world. We have the Moto Z Adventure Cross coming up Saturday night, and we have classes for so many different bikes and 26 different OEMs make an adventure bike.
Absolutely. The adventure bike craze, I call it that because it's been going on for a hot minute. And now the adding of the adventure bike, the adventure cross here at this event, people are riding their bikes in from hours away. They're going to do that course, and then they're going to ride home. But that's an experience like none other.
Well, the experience that we hope to have is that you folks come out and see us. But until you do, thanks for tuning in live. Rob, as always, thank you very much. Rob Oliva, National Sales Manager, Racer. Keep your eye on the podium. I bet we see him there later today.
So how about that? Great job from Rob and Rob hanging out there in the pits a little bit earlier this weekend. And looks like we've got our next podium set up down there, ready to do some celebrating. And we've got, there he is, the man himself, Rob Bidas, standing by. Rob, down to you.
Thanks a lot, Zach. We're doing so much down here. We've got so much activity that's going on. First of all, Bill Kazar, another podium. And we talk about it. And I know you think sometimes that I'm being an ass. You do so much good for the sport of road racing. And then last night, you and your friends said, hey, we're going to show off a little bit. And I knew you were going to. I didn't think you were bringing the C team or the B. You brought the A team to celebrate America's 250th with that fireworks. Who were those guys and how'd you put it together?
Well, ain't no party like a fireworks party, and it was Chris Muck, and I honestly don't know the name of his company if it even has a name, but he's a legit shooter, they call them, and he comes to some of our events and does some stuff. So I knew it would be good. I knew it would be good.
Well, not only was it good, people are still talking about it. I want to talk a little bit about what you do. Every podium we're here in Motorcycle Supply, you may have the biggest race team in the world.
Not in the world, but certainly in the Quad State area in the Midwest, where that's a total of about 300,000 people. So no, we're a little shop in a little town in Kansas. We've been into motorcycles for a long, long time. Certainly the performance aspect and the racing aspect. We've been open since 1988, and we're always trying to support people and get new people into the sport and the activities. So yeah, we've done it for a long time.
Well, you've done a great job with it, and we're certainly proud that every time we get to hang out. Paula has some hardware for you. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I want to shout out to Admiral Kyle Northend of Motion Pro. I forgot to mention him. He takes care of us with a lot of good stuff. He's a BRL sponsor, I believe. Kyle should be here. I think he had some seafaring stuff he had to do on his giant boat. So,
well, congratulations. Paula has an award for you. You too. I'm going to be back with you in a second here. All right, let me make sure I got the names right, because I can't mess you guys up. I do have the wrong piece of paper here. It's always something. Craig? When we get here and you bust out the overalls, I know that we're going to be serious. We got the footage on the last thing. You guys were a bike length apart coming into the final corner.
Yeah, anytime I race with Jim, it's a hard-fought battle, the whole thing. He keeps me honest. He's got tools in his kit that I'll never have, and I got to wait for him to make a mistake, and he doesn't do that very often.
Great racing. It doesn't matter what year bike on. These things are still pretty technologically advanced as far as what they do. They don't have the traction control. Well, they do right here in that right wrist.
That's it. Yeah. All of our stuff's all manual. Yeah, there's no electronics on them.
Well, anything you like to do to make sure the people that helped you get here get a mention?
I want to thank the guys I raced with today, Bill and Jim. But all of my appreciation for this goes to General Manager of Motorsport Park Hastings, Jeff Lucina. If it wasn't for him, this wouldn't be possible. And I used to ride with him when he was at another track before he came here, and he turned this place around. And there's no other track that is more fun to come to than this one. I really appreciate what he's done, and he deserves a lot of credit.
I certainly agree with you, and Paula does as well. Paula, how about handing out an award right here? All right, Jimmy Milroy in the middle. You give these guys no slack, Jim. None. Your elbows up. You're tucked in. You got the machine going. I love watching you race.
It's a killer instinct. Craig was talking about passing me going into 3, and if he would have, we would have both went out because I wasn't going to let him.
Well, I like when you're on 33-year-old bikes, making sure that nobody gets one up on you. Who would you like to give a mention to?
My wife and boy are here today with me. The past 2 years, they haven't been able to come out, and this year they are. Craig and Bill, it's a great time spending time with you guys at the racetrack, whether it's here or anywhere else.
Anytime you're at a racetrack, it's a great day, isn't it? Paula, we got a #1 trophy right here. We're going to have these gentlemen step up on the podium, and once we get that shot, I have a special interview coming up in just a second. So, folks at home, get ready. We got the podium shot, and when we come back, we'll have a special interview.
All right, great stuff down there from the podium. A huge congratulations once again to our top 3. Has got to get the shots afterwards. Make sure everybody, all the sponsors and everybody back at home, able to show what you were able to do out here at Motorsports Park Hastings. So we'll grab the shots and then we'll get ready to get a special live interview down with Ron Binas as well. Going to be a ton of fun. Don't forget, like we say, folks, Racer TV, it's all racing all the time. If you have not already, make sure you are subscribed to us right here on YouTube and then following us on social media as well at Racer TV. And then make sure you stay up to date with all things Bagger Racing League as well, at Bagger Racing League on social media and then baggerracingleague.com. I love the website. It's really well set up. And especially if you're somebody interested in potentially getting into joining the BRL, participating in a BRL event, that's going to be your one-stop shop. Gives you all the information you need to know, tells you the incredible companies that we get to work with, pretty much all the information that you need to get started
available right there. Well, it looks like we've got our very own Rob Minus down with a special interview here live.
Well, thanks a lot, Zach. Over the course of the race weekend, what we like to do is make sure we get with our sponsors. A lot of our sponsors are here on Thursday or Friday morning. The folks from Advent Black, with a number of our race mechanics, got stranded in Dallas. I mean, they were going to drive to get here. It wasn't going to be something where they said, oh, gosh, I don't know, I don't think we're going to make it. You guys doubled down. You said, we are going to be at the Open or the BRL. You made it yesterday. You're back here today. Thank you so much for the effort.
We were so happy to be here. We said, we're getting there no matter what. They canceled our flight, and we were planning to drive, but thankfully we made it here on a plane.
You know, you talk about coming into an event like this. We've got so many little things that have to do. You guys brought some giveaways for the crowd. You guys brought some merchandise to show off and things like that. You get here, everything's scrambling, and you guys still have the biggest smile on. The gang at Advent Black truly is having a good time.
We love you guys, and we just love helping the racers, and we love our customers. We're happy.
So we were talking earlier today to some of the folks around here, and they said we are heavily focused on the performance market, the bagger scene, the softail scene. They want to make sure that if you're out there and you're wondering what's going on, check out the gas tank that they offer. If you're a performance rider and you want to ride the bike to the potential, the ergonomics on the bike are imperative, and the folks at Advent Black have built a gas tank that is truly second to none. Thank you very much for all you do. We can't wait to see you all year long.
Thank you. We're excited to make it to every race.
Jessica from Advent Black down here on Victory Podium. Give me some knuckles here. We're going to throw it back to the race podium and make sure Zach gets everybody up to speed.
All right. Thanks so much, Rob. And a huge thank you to our friends there at Advent Black for doing whatever it takes to be right here with us at the Bagger Racing League. Well, we're going to grab a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll continue here for round number 2 of the 2026 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers presented by Memphis Shades. We'll be right back.
Performance isn't a trend, it's a lifestyle. At Tucker Speed, we live and breathe Harley-Davidson performance. From performance parts and accessories to riding gear and apparel, we carry everything we need to build a faster, harder running machine. But we don't just sell parts. We build, we ride, and we race with the parts we sell. Because real performance only comes from real experience. From complete engine builds to suspension upgrades to in-house dyno tuning and custom performance setups, our team is dedicated to pushing Harley-Davidson performance to the limit. Street or track, weekend rider or full race build, Tucker Speed has the parts, knowledge, and experience to take your bike to the next level. Visit tuckerspeed.com. or bring your bike to the experts at Tucker Speed.
Make your mark with Memphis Shades, proud sponsor of the 2025 Bagger Racing League. From raw materials to the open road, our windshields and fairings are designed by riders and handcrafted in the heart of Tennessee. Whether it's cross-country or weekend rides, Memphis Shades lets you ride longer, look better, and enjoy every mile. Visit memphisshades.com to check out our full lineup and upgrade your ride today. Memphis Shades, style that works.
We're Advent Black, industry leader in color-matched performance bagger parts.
For over a decade, we've been building premium parts and accessories for baggers. Designed for riders, who demand more from every mile. Add Van Black. You choose the destination, we handle the rest.
Drive anywhere on the Dueler AT Ascent tire. With rugged sawtooth edges designed for on- and off-road adaptability. Bridgestone innovation in all terrain.
From the sun-drenched coasts of California to the stormy plains of the Midwest and the misty peaks of the Appalachians, this beautiful nation gives us all kinds of weather, but nothing the American Elite 2 can't handle. When the skies open up, confidence comes alive. This is a true long-haul tire, engineered precisely for unpredictable elements along the way, providing exceptional grip and stability when it matters most. American Elite 2, built for the ride.
This broadcast of the Bagger Racing League is brought to you by Yuasa Battery, DP Brakes, Icon, Alloy Art, Motion Pro, Bridgestone, Andrews Performance, Ultra Cool, Pirelli, Advent Black, Redline Oil, and Dunlop. Well, as you can see here at the Bagger Racing League, plenty to celebrate here in 2026 as we celebrate 250 years of American history. Of course, 20 years of history here at Motorsports Park Hastings and 6 years of racing here at the Bagger Racing League as we get 2026 off and rolling. And speaking of off and rolling, we've got our next race out on course, off and rolling here on our warm-up lap. That is our lightweight superbike and, of course, our American Twins Unlimited class as well. I want to thank you all for enjoying the broadcast right here on RacerTV.com. Shout out to Stoke Media and Racer TV for bringing you all of the racing action here from Motorsports Park Hastings. Another beautiful day and a picture-perfect day for racing. Just like we heard in our last podium, the opportunities for PRs, a lot of people not just chasing position but chasing the stopwatch as well. This MPH course, one of the favorites in the local and not so local area. There's a lot of people that come from far off just for an opportunity to ride on this course. We have so many people involved with BRL that come out maybe for the first time to MPH, and one of the first things they always say is, man, this track is so much fun, so raceable as well. So hopefully going to have some slicing and dicing here in this next one as well. Of course, this is where we got to see Levy Batty really show what he was capable of after a tough start to the day yesterday. Batty grabbing the pole position, David Lancaster and Douglas Durant in this one as well, lined up next to him, and then Chris Muck on the 696. You see him lining up right there to the inside of your screen. Going to be one to watch in this one with Teddy Honan and Nick Margadana also out there as well. So we'll get everybody locked and loaded on the grid, and we will get ready to drop the green flag. See that Redline Oil's 30-second card come out, and you know things are getting serious. Watch out now. Get passionate with it here.
everybody got a different approach to staying loose before the green flag flies. Talk about feeling your machine there. Feeling that one with the machine right now, no doubt about it. And just making sure all of our riders are dialed in on grid here. There you see, looks like the 76 ride now locked into position, as well as, here we go, Red Line Oil's 32nd car getting ready to come out. Green flag. Off and rolling. Here we go. American Twins Unlimited Lightweight Superbike taking off. And Levy Batty going to lead them into that first turn, but watch this around the outside. We saw this from Muck before. Oh man, just so impressive. Look at this around the outside, and how about it? Muck thought that was all that was going to happen, but he's got company now. As it looks like, is that potentially Lancaster that made a pass? So the battle is on almost immediately. No, excuse me, that's Holman, if I'm not mistaken, making some quick moves. So not a shocker there on that one. Holman going to try to jump up to the front out of that lightweight superbike, of course. Muck still right there in the Levy Batty leading that Zippers ATU class. As here we go, the battle's on. This is going to be fun to watch. I'm curious to see what Muck is able to do with this one. Holman has the position right now, and that does not seem to be concerning the 696 too much. Muck seems like able to flirt around a little bit with lines and not have to stress too much about where to go. Here we go, heading into turn 13. Both of these guys, relatively, I guess you could call them local legends. Well, familiar with one another, certainly familiar with this MPH course as well. Really cool to see them show up and show out here for the BRL. And Chris Muck, who you just saw on screen right there, that bright yellow machine, that is looking great. And if I'm not mistaken, Teddy Holman, who's currently leading the way, was kind of the designer behind that fireworks display that you saw as we were coming back from break. A huge celebration going on yesterday evening. And how about it? Another Cali versus Harley battle. I had $1 for every time we had one of those. I think I'd have $2. Maybe not. I would think it was a Suzuki earlier battling up against the Harley, but nonetheless, the Harley's in the mix and in the fight here today, as it is Teddy Holman, Chris Muck, Levy Batty, David Lancaster, and Nick Margadona rounding out the top five. Lancaster in that number 4 spot, all the way from California, and still making all of the BRL rounds. Just shows the level of dedication there for David, and really cool to see his progression throughout the BRL year as well. If I'm not mistaken, Lancaster under a bit of pressure right now from Margadona. Nick not quite close enough to be able to run it up the inside. Still going to keep some pressure on. As two different classes going to battle right now, and two very different bike styles as well. Lancaster in that number 4 position. Margadona trying to take it away from him. And here we go into turn 13. Let's see, can Nick run it up the inside? Not quite close enough yet. Lancaster doing a great job of flowing around this course. You see him kind of able to piece these corners together. And look at that, opens the motor up and stretches things out in a big way down that front stretch. So Lancaster able to put a little breathing room behind him. Margadona close back up at the closing end of that straightaway. slowed down. So it's a Pan American versus a Kawasaki Ninja. Here on the backside of the top 5 in this one. Your zippers, American Twins Unlimited, your lightweight Superbike class. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, Chris Muck continues to push and try to fight Teddy Honan. Baby Daddy leads the way out of that ATU class. On screen right now. Looks like this is the 76 ride. Caleb Childers, brand new here at the Bagger Racing League, came out this weekend for the first time. And first and foremost, Caleb, the kit looking good. Got everything matching. Worry about going fast second. I always say got to look good first. You got that figured out. And you're going pretty fast as well. So big shout out to Caleb for being out here with us this weekend. Look at this, though. The battle is on at the front of the pack, as it looks like Chris Muck has retaken that number 1 position from Teddy Honan. And Honan trying to close in. Look at this, a run up the inside. Is he able to leave the brakes off? He is. So how about it? Teddy Honan takes the lead back. Lap traffic coming up in front of him. There you see Childers going to try to stay out of that main race line. They both get around cleanly. Now, crazy story here. Teddy Honan earlier today actually came together with a bird in practice and had to stop and took a bit of time to actually remove the bird from the airbox of the machine. This is, you can't make this stuff up here. So Teddy been having to shake it out just a little bit. And they did get the bird removed. Obviously the machine okay, and Teddy looking pretty okay as well, but never know what you're going to have to deal with out here at the BRL event. Right now what he's having to deal with is Chris Muck in a big way. Muck had retaken that number 1 spot. Let's see, halfway through. Here we go, folks. Halfway through now, things get serious. As you see some lines shifting around. Look at this, Muck up the inside, pulls out of the draft and pulls right up in front of Teddy Honan. But Honan immediately responds there in turn number 2 up the inside. This is a great back and forth battle here at the front of our lightweight Superbike class. Muck looked like just a little more power. Let's see, fastest section of the racetrack through here. Able to get the power down and get around once again. So lead has changed 2 to 3 times already in the first 4 corners. Could we see a 5th lead change? Look at this. Honan, around the outside. They are threading the needle as close as they can get together. Look at this. Honan. And shout out to Buck staying cool under pressure. Now Honan going to peek up the inside once again. Teddy Honan makes the pass happen. Buck going to try to settle in, look for an opportunity to strike back. Here we go, heading into turn 13. They both break wide, relatively same entry lines. Just a bit of a power advantage. He's going to try to use it here on this one. He pulls right up alongside Teddy Honan. Honan still able to maintain that number 1 spot. Let's see what happens here in turn 2. Honan protects the inside. Buck going to go just a bit wider. How does that set him up for this long stretch between 2 all the way to about 4? Wide open through this part of the racetrack here, folks. Honan just trying to keep him in front of the 696 of Chris Muck. Look at this though, Muck. Oh, so fast in the tail end of these straightaways, and once again puts himself into the number 1 ride. I like the fight that we've got out of Teddy Honan though. Almost immediately, if Chris Muck's able to put himself in front, you immediately see Teddy Honan move into a defensive maneuver goes back on the fight. And these two really close with one another as well, so I guarantee you they're both smiling ear to ear. They're probably yelling at one another. I don't know if they can hear it or not, but I know how buddies get out on the course. And nothing quite like having a true fight. All respectful, everybody. Class acts as Honan once again peeks up the inside, not quite close enough. Muck's been able to shut down a couple of... So we'll see. Oh, look at this, 13 once again. So many different ways to get through this corner. 2 laps or so to go. Once again, Chris going to run up the inside, makes the pass happen this time. Watch this though, Holman. Oh, this time Holman doesn't peek quite as much inside. We saw him pass immediately back in that turn 2 about 2 laps ago. So Muck starting to pick up on a couple of lines here. Look at him, almost identical speed. Headed down that backstretch. Eddie Holman actually doing a good job of keeping the pressure on. And wait a second, could Teddy Holman make a pass back in the same spot where Chris Muck got him a lap ago? And he does. These two are going tit for tat right here at the top of the lightweight superbike class. How can you not enjoy this? The top level of this sport. Great view from the Advent Black 5 drone. So close in lap times here. Look at this, Muck peeks up the inside once again. So about a 137.4 to a 137.7. The comparisons between. White flag now coming out. So another 177, or excuse me, 137.7 for Muck. So just a little bit faster for Teddy Holman. Lappers coming up as well. What's that going to do for your leader, Muck? Maybe wishing he wasn't in that number 1 spot in this position. Oh man, and they're coming up on him so fast. Look at how close they're threading the needles around some of those bagger machines. This is the fight for the lead at the top of the lightweight superbike class, and it looks like, oh, Lapper's going to get into the mix. Look at this. It's going to play in favor for Chris Muck. Man, there was nowhere he could go in this one. The Lapper trying to stay out of the way. And talk about an interesting time to catch him. I mean, that was 2 to 3 Lappers all within a short section of race course. Meanwhile, Holman immediately right back to the rear wheel. Look at this, up the inside. Oh, what a move from Teddy Holman right there. Can he close the door and seal it? He does. Back into the number 1 spot with only a couple of corners left to go. What is Chris Muck going to be able to do as they make their way into the final corner? Here we go. Teddy Holman leads them in. Chris Muck going to try to swing around wide. Can he cut back underneath? It's going to be a drag race headed down to the check-in. Who's it going to be? I got to see a different camera angle. I don't know who to give that one to. Taking a look, timing and scoring. Teddy Holman shown as the number 1 ride. 0.022 seconds in front of Chris Muck. What a finish. That might be a new closest finish here in the BRL. What a way to close out that lightweight superbike class. Oh man, absolutely incredible. Came down to the wire, now looking like Levy Batty going to cross the line in that number 3 spot. David Lancaster in there as well, and man, they got to be, give the guy a high five or something, man. You guys deserve it. They are, like we said, friends and buddies off track, but what a ride right there. That's going to be a fun podium interview, I feel like. Those guys, I'm sure, had to have a blast going back and forth just like that. Man, put on a great show for us here on Racer TV, as well as we get ready for a Redline Oils race recap. Your Zippers, American Twins Unlimited, and your lightweight Superbike class head off into turn 1. Levy Batty with an incredible jump on that number 8 ride, but it was Honan and Muck making the most of turn 2 and setting sail. David Lancaster in a nice fight as well on the backside of the top 5. Margadona continuing to apply the pressure, but ultimately not going to be able to catch up and get around the 666 machine. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, these guys were trading positions 4 to 5 times a lap. Teddy Honan and Chris Muck, tit for tat, wheel to wheel, bar to bar, all of the expressions, all the comparisons. What can you say at this point? One would make a pass, the other would pass back a corner or two later, and this went on for 2 to 3 laps. One of the best back and forth battles I think we've seen here in the Bagger Racing League, and it came all the way down to the final stretch of this Motorsports Park Hastings race course. You see Honan patiently waiting. So hard to tell even what part of the race this is. Like I said, they truly swapped positions 4 times a lap for about 2 to 3 laps. Muck in the lead right here. You see Teddy immediately switching up. They get into some heavy lap traffic here on the last lap. We thought that was going to work in favor of Chris Muck, but things close up in a big way as Teddy Honan able to get within a few bike lanes, make a pass happen heading into turn 13, and then Chris Muck tries to tuck underneath, tries to make it a drag race to the finish. He does just that, but he comes up 0.022 seconds short, and Teddy Honan going to hang on for the win. Your Alpine Stars top 10 looks like this. It's Teddy Honan, Chris Muck, Levy Batty, David Lancaster, and Nick Margadona. Your top 5 with Caleb Childers, Douglas Durrah rounding out your field here in race number 4. Well, how about that, folks? What a finish. We're going to send things to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll get to hear from our top 3 here from round number 2 of the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers, presented by Memphis Shades.
Performance isn't a trend, it's a lifestyle. At Tucker Speed, we live and breathe Harley-Davidson performance. From performance parts and accessories to riding gear and apparel, we carry everything you need to build a faster, harder running machine. But we don't just sell parts. We build, we ride, and we race with the parts we sell. Because real performance only comes from real experience. From compute engine builds to suspension upgrades to in-house dyno tuning and custom performance setups, our team is dedicated to pushing Harley-Davidson performance to the limit. Street or track, weekend rider or full race build, Tucker Speed has the parts, knowledge, and experience to take your bike to the next level. Visit tuckerspeed.com or bring your bike to the experts at Tucker Speed.
Make your mark with Memphis Shades, proud sponsor of the 2025 Bagger Racing League. From raw materials to the open road, our windshields and fairings are designed by riders and handcrafted in the heart of Tennessee. Whether it's cross-country or weekend rides, Memphis Shades lets you ride longer, look better, and enjoy every mile. Visit memphisshades.com to check out our full lineup and upgrade your ride today. Memphis Shades, style that works.
This broadcast of the Bagger Racing League is brought to you by Yuasa Battery, DP Brakes, Icon, Alloy Art, Motion Pro, Bridgestone, Andrews Performance, Ultra Cool, Pirelli, Advent Black, Redline Oil, and Dunlop. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Motorsports Park Hastings for round number 2 of the 2026 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers presented by Memphis Shades. We just wrapped up with our Zippers ATU and our lightweight superbike class, and we've got our man Rob Bida standing by down at the podium.
Well, thank you very much, Zach. We're down here with Nick Margadona. Nick, back here again. Yesterday, third place. Here you are. You're very consistent.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be on the podium again. I found a little bit more pace. This race was kind of outclassed in my class, but the 666 from the other class kept me on my toes, and I had a really fun battle with him. It was a great day.
You and David Lancaster had a great battle. It was Harley versus Sport Bike. You'd push him, he'd move up. That's, you know, and that's a lot of the camaraderie out here. It doesn't matter what class you're in, you will find somebody to race with.
Yeah, I have a new respect for those bikes, the way you just were able to pull away, the power and the torque, and then the corner speed I had. It was a great time.
Well, congratulations. Who do you want to give a shout-out to?
Want to give it a shout-out to Larry Mills with DP Brakes, Bill with Motorcycle Supplies, and then LM2. Thank you.
Congratulations. Paula Fox has a third-place award for you. I just had to make sure because I'm used to him over there. The Pyro God, Mr. Mock out there. They talk about, oh, you could have thrown a blanket over him. You could have thrown the smallest cloth. You could have thrown your headband over your guys out there. There was no total trust. I know you trusted him. He trusted you. That was some of the best racing we've ever seen.
It felt like good racing. We were out there and we were battling hard. Teddy put on a really good race. I'm confirmed. I usually get in the showers right away. Stall 5 is my go-to to get ready for the day. It was taken. Teddy was in there sucking up all the Stall 5 juice, which is a problem for me, obviously. But I gave him hell all I could, and it turned out to be an awesome race.
Well, congratulations. Who you want to give a shout-out to?
Bill, Motorcycle Supply, everybody watching at home, Dalton, retard at home, you know, just wish he was here. He'd be in there dicing up as well, but we had a good time today, so thanks for bringing us all here.
I appreciate it. Paula Fox has your award. Teddy, the crowd starts to go. Actually, the TV guys asked me if you guys could go out and do 8 more laps so we could keep that action, that intensity going. Great ride to first place this week, and it feels good.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Finally on the top.
Now, what was the big change?
Just some confidence. The tires helped a lot. I threw a fresh tire on. Look at that thing. It's perfect.
Absolutely perfect. And you guys have a lot of people that help you get here.
Oh, absolutely. This guy especially. When I was out in the big bike race right before this, he's putting warmers on. He put that tire on for me. So thank you, Nick.
What a man. What a man. Let's get the hardware handed out here, Paula. Guys, step up on those top steps and get your acclimates because what a race we saw out there. And I'll tell you what right now, Zach, we've got one more big one to go. We got one more podium to go, and we'll be back with more in just a moment.
Man, you said it, Rob. So much still in store here as we get ready for our main event, our final race of the day. And included in that main event, of course, is our Andrews Bagger GP class. You could argue the premier class. And Andrews Performance Products, arguably the premier performance products available for those baggers as well. And we were able to catch up with our friends at Andrews Performance Products a little earlier this weekend.
The kickoff of our 2026 Drag Specialties Battle of Baggers presented by Memphis Shades. And where do we stop first? The title sponsor of our Bagger GP. Michael, last MVP, you handed over the prestigious Fred Fox Cup to the Suburban Harley team. And to have the Andrews name tagged on as the title sponsor, that certainly has to be something you're proud of.
Oh, it's absolutely great. I mean, we've been doing this for 54 years. It's in great memory of John Andrews, who founded the company, and we're just a pleasure to be part of this. It's such a professionally run organization, and we love to get out here and see the people doing what they love and working with our parts and just the brotherhood. It's amazing.
You know, you talk about the parts, and a lot of these companies rely on types of testing. Some used to do out in the Mojave Desert and ride around for thousands of miles. You said, listen, we're going to take our products to the racetrack. We're going to show not only what they do performance-wise, but the durability. And the end result customer, that's who really benefits.
Absolutely. I mean, for many years, customers just assumed we had lifetime warranties because our stuff never wore out. But, you know, we don't have lifetime warranties. But we do stand behind our product, and, you know, we do everything to make sure the customer's satisfied. and just make it a great experience all the way around.
Well, speaking of great experiences, we can't wait to see how this plays out in the Andrews Bagger GP Class of 2026.
All right, great stuff there from our friends over at Andrews Performance Products, and excited for that Andrews Bagger GP class coming up here in just a few minutes, as well as the Pirelli Pro Stock class, and potentially our top 3 there as well from the Super Street Bagger class a bit earlier today. But right now, getting things set down into position here at the podium. Got the machines pulled up. We'll throw them up on the stands and get ready to chat it up with our top 3 here as well from our Zippers American Twins Unlimited class. We got the machines set up, and it looks like we got our man Rob Vida standing by down at the podium.
Well, we're down here with the ATU. Caleb Childers, brand new to the BRL. First time on the podium this year. Worked 24/7. Literally, you were here at 4:30 in the morning on Thursday for the news, working on your bike constantly. You get it done, and then the rewards are landing on the podium.
That's right. You know, this is our first year in the BRL. We've had some trials this season, or this race. But you know what, like we've talked about all weekend, it's the 250th anniversary of America. This country wasn't built on people who quit. I'm not going to quit. So.
Well, you're getting better each and every time out there. Who you want to give a shout-out to?
My team. I wouldn't be here without my team. They did a great job helping me out. And to all the racers here, I wouldn't be on the track without them. Everybody came together to help get me on the track. Thank you.
That's the family that BRL is. Paula Fox, let's give this man his first ever BRL trophy. Congratulations. I hope to see you at the next round.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Let's slide on over here, David. Man, the king of consistency. Then we go to the camera shot. You're picking on ninjas out there.
I didn't know he was there, and he showed up. I was tired, bro. I was tired. So I was like kind of taking it easy. And he went by me, and I go, I can't have that. I can't have it. So we just went for it.
Well, it was a great race out there, obviously putting it back on the podium. And as we talked about with you all year, consistency, consistency. That's what you do.
That's all I can do, man. Just suit up, show up, and have a good time. And here we are.
All right, get your list out because I know you got one.
Hey, I want to say congrats to Caleb for getting up here. He's had a hell of a weekend, man. So to get him to finish a race, he showed up on that bike yesterday. I was a little intimidated. I thought he was going to come out here and move fast. But he's here. He's fucking doing it. All right, so I guess I want to start with thanking my family, DP Brakes, Anthony's Leatherworks, Dunlop, Cowboy and Dale from Racer's Edge Performance, Heathen Nation, Lucifer's Garage, and Riders Gear.
Congratulations, Paula. Another one of these hardware for this gentleman. All right, gang, we're over here in the center position. It's Levy Batty. ATU, a completely different class, basically something that if you got a V-twin, come on out and hang out. And you guys did it. Nice job.
Thank you. Shout out to these guys. They did an amazing job, especially him. You know, he got it back together. He's going out, and he doesn't give up. It's great for him. I'm out here having fun. Just a little tired from the last race before this. And, I want to shout out, like, Speed Farm, Hog Halters, Worst Financial, Lords of Gas Down, Barnett Clutches, 77 Cycles, Bird Racing, DP Brakes, B-Tubo, Riker, Travel, KYT. Sorry, it's a long list. My wife, of course, my father-in-law, my family, Saddlemen, because I forgot them a few times, Biker Brewhouse, and Bridgestone. So I think I got everyone this time. So, thank you guys. Thank BRL for having me out here. And, looking forward to next weekend, yeah.
I can't wait. Paula Fox, the number 1 plate right here. That wraps up our podium. Gentlemen, please take to the top step. Zach, it's back to you as we get ready to go out for grid walk.
All right, you said it, Rob. Yeah, things getting fired up as we are just a couple of minutes away from getting the grid walk underway. One of my favorite things we do here at the Bagger Racing League, an opportunity for you, yes, you, the fans here on site at Motorsports Park Hastings, to get up close and personal with your favorite Bagger Racing League rider and, of course, those incredible machines as well. But before we do that, we're going to grab a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have more racing action here from round 2 of the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers presented by Memphis Shades.
Here's to the past wheelwrights, our forefathers. Like them, our lives are fixed on improving the oldest of technologies over and over. It is this cycle of a wheelwright's life that indeed helped make America and the world go round and boldly go forward. But our world is that of motorcycles. Since 1999, we've taken the wheelwright's heritage, craftsmanship, dedication, and pride in here with us, so our brothers and sisters can ride right. We set out to roll out improvements. We invented the Fat 50 for a stronger, beefier wheel that works better on the heavyweight cruisers. We invented our MHEs, modular hub ends that add speed in wheel making so bikers can get their order faster than anybody. A new flexibility in customizing was born as we did this. With these swappable hubs, one's wheel became more interchangeable with other motorcycles. The three-wheel riders on trikes, Can-Ams or T-Rexes, for example, found the company that can match highly stylish motorcycle wheels with automotive ones. Demand increased. We grew. Refinements passionately made. Orders went out. Tests were aced. This has been our circle of life at Ride Right. We wheelwrights know little else. We're simple. A simple wheel company based in California. We're solid, stably rolling steadily as growing industry leaders, a reputation for making motorcycle wheels and warranties strong, a solidity to rest bikes and lives upon. Boundless, it expresses our wheel compatibility. It is how we feel as we move onward and upward. It's how Ride Right owners feel, and they roll on with freedom and confidence. It is the day of the specialists, experts in a class conscious of every nuance, focus rules. Our specialty is wheels, and wheels only. We respectfully carry the wheelwright legacy into our eccentric world by improving the rides of motorcycles and riders globally. We are proud wheelwrights, nothing more. We are Ride Right. Simple, solid, boundless.
We're Advan Black, industry leader in color-matched performance bagger parts.
For over a decade, we've been building premium parts and accessories for baggers. Designed for riders who demand more from every mile. Advan Black. You choose the destination, we handle the rest.
Drive anywhere on the Dueler AT Ascent tire. With rugged sawtooth edges designed for on- and off-road adaptability. Bridgestone innovation in all terrain.
From the sun-drenched coasts of California to the stormy plains of the Midwest and the misty peaks of the Appalachians, this beautiful nation gives us all kinds of weather, but nothing the American elite two can't handle. When the skies open up, confidence comes alive. This is a true long-haul tire, engineered precisely for unpredictable elements along the way. providing exceptional grip and stability when it matters most. American Elite 2, built for the ride.
This broadcast of the Bagger Racing League is brought to you by Yuasa Battery, DP Brakes, Icon, Alloy Art, Motion Pro, Bridgestone, Andrews Performance, Ultra Cool, Pirelli, Advent Black, Redline Oil, and Dunlop. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to beautiful Hastings, Nebraska. Not only the home of Kool-Aid, but a lot of locomotive history here in this area as well. But making some history of our own this weekend are we right here at Motorsports Park Hastings as we get ready for the finale here for round number 2, our Andrews Bagger GP class as well as the Pirelli Pro Stock class. But before we get to that, we get to one of my favorite parts of the day. This is our grid walk, where fans and family members get to walk out and about on the grid. They get to meet their favorite riders, check out the machines, and we get to get an inside scoop with our riders as well as we get ready to send things down to Rob Bidas standing by at the grid.
Well, thanks a lot, Zach. Drew Jankard right here. We've been talking all day long. We heard on the last podium personal best. Lap times are starting to come down. I think that, and the autographs, obviously, for the fans, giving back. Certainly appreciate that. Now, let me ask you this. When you know, and a lot of times, I know you have some laps at this place. How does today make a day with the personal best? Is it being pushed by everybody? Is it you running up, or is it just the perfect conditions?
Yeah, we have some great conditions today. We got a little bit of wind, which slows us down into turn 3, but it sets you up for a great drive in turn 4. Look for that during the race with these big baggers. They've got a lot of frontal surface area, so they get pushed around by the wind a little bit. The downside of that is you get sucked into turn 9, so you might see some passes going into turn 9. But as far as the track, it's grippy. The sun's out. We got heat in the tires. We can't wait to get going.
Well, best of luck to you. I know that the team over here has the bike ready to go. They've been working feverishly. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. Yeah, the team, they worked tirelessly to get me going, and we've got a lot of sponsors, and can't thank them enough. But, yeah, we're going to tune it in and try to get on top of the box.
Well, Drew, thank you very much. We're going to slide over here. Seth Dahmer, if you'd be so kind to join me next to this gorgeous Tucker Speed Road Glide. Today has really been a great day for you. The pace is really starting to come to you. You have a number of laps around here, so you're very familiar with the circuit. Great way to kick off 2026.
Yeah, so far our season's been going pretty good, and hopefully we can carry a little momentum into this race and get out front and lead some laps. I want to get out front and just hold out there.
You know, they talk about the clear air being up front. These guys, they're going to be trying to match your pace, match your line selection, and we know that when you get into this situation, all of a sudden you just got to clear your mind and get ready to go.
Yeah, I just got to stay relaxed, take it easy out there, and don't need to push too hard. It's a long season, so we just got to keep the bike together, and as long as we get out here clean, we should be in a good spot.
Well, best of luck to you, my friend. Have a great day. Sitting on the front row is the Tucker Speed Road Glide. We're going to make our way over here. Cody Gilmore. Now, Cody Gilmore yesterday had to go to a backup bike today. He's gone to a different backup bike, but from the same variants, if you will. Obviously, when you get to a situation like this, you know the bike's going to be a little bit of a deterrent, but you're one of these guys that at this track, with the Gilmore clan that's here, you always rise to the occasion.
Yeah, it's be a good time just to get out there and get a little bit of time on the track. You know, we haven't had the weekend go our way, but going to do a little bit of testing on old Shawnee Boy's bike and see if we can come up with some things that'll help in the future for both of us. And, yeah, just get out there and have a little bit of fun. But pretty bummed I ain't able to get on my bike back there. But the team's been hard out at working all weekend. And, yeah, we just couldn't make it happen. But we'll be back for Michigan.
Well, Cody, I know you'll be back fighting on strong forever. Have a great ride out there.
Thank you. Thanks to all our sponsors, and thanks to everyone for coming out. We appreciate it.
Cody Gilmore over here. under the direction of the Wildcat right here. That's the Wildcat right there. If his probation officer is looking, he's here in Hastings. He's right there. All right, let's get back over here. Now, a lot of times when you have a hat like this on, you're a deer hunter. In this chance right here, this is a points hunter. Tony Tucker got the team. He got the bike on the front row, currently second in points in that class. Got yourself in a podium position as well. This is how all the hard work starts to pay off.
It does. You know, we got 2 trophies in the truck already, and we're shooting for 2 more. Maybe get a first on one of them. That's what we're shooting for. So, yeah, we're out here hunting. We're championship hunting. And I brought the right hat.
Yes, you did. You know, you're obviously always doing something unique, and I know that you always have something special. Who do you want to give a shout-out to that's really kind of moved the needle for you?
Well, I think that this year the Dahmers joining the team and the Dark Horse Motor Company, they've really brought a lot of legitimacy to our team. So thanks to those guys. They've really helped us, you know, step up our program. John brings a lot of experience. And, you know, some of the other big sponsors that have always helped us, you know, Law Tigers and Pirelli, SMT Wheels, you know, HPI built us some amazing exhaust systems. And, you know, and obviously my crew that's been with me for years. I don't do it without them. They, you know, they deserve a lot more credit than me.
Well, I certainly think that you deserve a lot of credit from the first time we've seen you to now as you continue to move the needle. We wish you best of luck, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Tony Tucker on the grid here. Let's see who we have over here. He has his moving blankets on. He has his umbrella on his bike. He's got the #1 plate up front. I'm talking about Jake Masters right here. Jake Masters from Australia, and we talked a little bit about it yesterday. Some tough injuries that sidelined him. Then he gets back and he starts really coming, has another setback injury. Most people at that point would go, look, maybe I'm just going to get ready for 27. You said, no, I'm coming. I might have a gangster limb, but I am going to go after this title. I have a month to heal up from here, and that's what you got looking on your mind.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I just wanted to come out this weekend, get points, keep it on 2 wheels and have some fun. I've enjoyed being out here. It's been great. It's been really tough and the pain's there, but once you're out on the bike and riding with everyone, you kind of forget about it for a minute. So it's probably the nicest thing that's happened in 4 weeks.
You know, we've talked to a lot of the folks around the United States, but you have a big fan base back in Australia that's tuned in as well. You want to give them a shout out as well?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everyone, mum, dad, family, friends, everyone watching. It's awesome. This live broadcast is such a good thing. Anyone can be watching this, so thank you. Anyone that I know is watching this right now. It's awesome. I'm going to go out there and give it my best, and yeah, then we race again in another month.
Jake Masters, #1 plate in the Pirelli Pro Stock class. I know that he's over here in deep conversation with Snowball, and if you're anywhere and you see Snowball, get into a deep conversation. All right, Brendan Foley, yesterday from the second row, big start. Running the pace, put it into the #2 overall spot. But due to scheduling conflict, the gentleman that was able to win yesterday, Kyle Onsborg from the Bagger GP class, he's not here. Is this the day we see a pro stock bike win the overall in a combined class?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm bummed Kyle's not back. You know, it was fun following him the first couple laps. He was able to pull a gap on me and then kind of checked out. But, you know, we got Seth here. Seth's carrying good speed today, so you never know. We'll see what kind of start we can get and then just kind of run with it.
You know, some of these guys are talking about, oh, I've been to this track, this track, this track. You literally have 5 racetracks, maybe 6 under your belt.
Yeah, what did we do, 5 last year? So this is my second time at this track, first time here on this new bike. So it's definitely adapt. You got to adapt and just kind of figure it out.
Well, I hope all the sender-only faithful are keeping an eye on you. Have a good time out there. Brendan Foley. Let's slide back over here now. The R crew. See, these guys over here, they're holding court. What are you doing, Frank? Get in here. I want to talk to you and you. All right. One of the things we like to do at the BR is try to, I don't know if it's so much invent, but it's kind of create environment. So if you know my friend Frank, all he needs is this much information to turn it into a full-blown thing. I said, hey, we're going to have adventure cross. A little bit of street, a little bit of grass, a little bit of sand. He brings 3 fully Baja mint prepped XRs out here. You guys were the cream of the field. You were out there. Your team, they were cutting a course, I think.
They're cheating. They're cheating bad. They're cheating bad, yeah. I saw it. We got it on YouTube. Or it's going to be there.
See, I don't know how you saw them because they were behind you the whole time. I mean, you dropped a hammer.
I could hear them coming. I could hear them. There's no way they caught me that fast. They're cheating.
You've been in the bagger world with us for a number of years, always bringing a colorful steed out, always bringing something. Where'd you find this guy at?
This guy, he's actually an FDR recipient. I met him. Robbie turned me on to him. He had a bad fall back in, 2-3 years ago. And FDR actually helped him get back on his feet. And that's how I met him. We've developed this relationship. And when we had an open spot, called Carbon, and he came on out and got on the bike for us. So it's been good.
Carbon, I want you to step in here. The FDR, obviously, they have the vendor row presence. But whenever they get with somebody, I know Frank pours his emotions. He poured all of his connections in. You guys come here with a pretty heavy gun.
Oh yeah, we're definitely got a machine under us. We're still working out some hiccups with it, but they've been working their tails off trying to chase all of these. We'll see what we've got going out there right now, and hopefully everything sticks. And if not, Gingerman better watch out because we're going to be ready.
Well, best of luck to you out there. Have a great ride. Slide on over. Hey, Tyler, get in here. Look. I just want to hang out with this dude. He pulls into the paddock. He got his Supercross trailer, his Street Glide bike. He's got his tire warm. He brings how many people with you as your crew chief?
Just me.
Just him. See, a lot of guys out here, they travel with an ocean of people. Every time you see him, you know that he's done his homework. He's worked hard. He comes in, and you always put in solid results.
Yeah, we got to get out there and try and keep up with these guys. The old bird here, she keeps on going, and we're making up time.
I know you are. I know you are. Best of luck to you, my friend.
Appreciate it.
All right, Tyler Elliott back here. Let's slide back. Matthew Maldonado. He's over there. I'm talking about, here's what got me all excited. The Advent Black gas tank over here. Jake McGuire. You're able to tuck in on this thing, aren't you?
Yeah, they did great. With this whole body set was made by Advent Black, and the quality is great. The color's beautiful. I'm stoked on it.
You had an opportunity to come to the back row here because you performed so well this morning, and every time it seems like you start to get more comfortable, all of a sudden you start to move up the ranks.
Yeah, this track, this weekend's been a rough one for me. I really just wanted to get a little more time, try to get a little more comfortable on the bike after some changes over the winter, and honestly, I just want to mix it up with these 2 local guys and see if we can have some fun.
I know you always have some fun, so best of luck to you. Give me a little knuckles. Let's slide over here to Chase French. We told you about doing double duty. This is the second time he's back on the track in under an hour. The recovery, how do you guys do it?
With help. Everybody helping us put tire warmers on, doing all the dirty stuff so we can relax a little bit. But it's still hard because, we're doing a lot of it ourselves too.
Yeah, you guys back here always have so much work to put into the bike. The second you're done, when everybody else is taking a break, like you mentioned, you're back right into it again. You had to get prepped up. Before you go, anybody you want to give a shout-out to?
Just our crew here, and then Lindahl Brakes, GP Suspension, Moonshine Harley, basically everybody else.
Well, thank you so much for coming out. Look forward to seeing you in Michigan. Chase French, everybody. Let's slide over to Matthew Maldonado. Matt, we're doing good. The White Knight is right here. Now, tell us a little story about what this bike started off as.
Started as a 24 CVO ST.
So one of the nicest bikes that Harley makes, I would guess in my heart that of the couple thousand that they make a year and sell, you're the only one that has a pure CVO at the racetrack.
Yes, sir. It wasn't the plan when I bought it, but we're here now.
Now, did I understand you got yourself kind of a new job or something, or what are you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm the Drag Specialties rep out of North Carolina now, stepping in Mike Corey's old position.
So you're one of the racing reps now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, and Matthew Maldonado calling on dealers Monday through Friday, probably works on the bike late at night, and then they make the trip out here. Man, I know the grind. I know it's hard, but when you're in the motorcycle industry, passion is what it's all about. I hope you have a great ride out there.
I appreciate it, Rob. Thank you.
So Matthew Maldonado down on the line. Let's take a walk up here and talk to a few more people that we have before we get everybody turned loose. Jeff Bailey, he's going to hand out some big checks again. You know he's going to have a good time making your way around, just checking off all the boxes.
Yeah, we're going around saying hi to some of the racers, wishing them luck. It's an awesome day. Let's get this last race in and have a good, clean, safe race.
That's exactly what we have. We're moving up over here. Michael, come here and see me, my friend. This is the Andrews Bagger GP class up there. When Fred Fox passed, we decided we're going to create this award, and we've created it. Nick Trask has won it 3 times. Then Luke Leatherman from Fueling got it. Then Joe from Suburban Harley wrestled it away from them. And it's your class that has the Fred Fox moniker. That has to be something they take a lot of pride in.
No, it's an absolute honor. Andrew's, happy to be part of this and really honored. And you do such a great job for us. We really love it.
Well, Michael, we certainly are proud to have you here, and we'll hand out some Fred Fox hardware at the end of the year. Usually we do it at MVP. Great to see you out here, my friend. Let's see. Oh, hey, Paula, get over here. My goodness. So a lot of organizations have a really, really strong supporter. The BRL's is Paula Fox. Here's why. When we created the Bagger Racing League, we were sitting at your breakfast table, me, you, Fred, and Tom Motzko. And Fred said, what do you need? And what did I say?
I need everything.
So Fred said, all right, Paula, let's hook them up with everybody. They opened up their Rolodex, if you will. We made some calls, and the next thing you know, the Bagger Racing League was formed 6 years ago. I think you may have missed one race, but I don't know when it was.
Michigan.
Okay, maybe Michigan, but you won't miss again. You come, you support us. We can't thank you enough. The vendors love seeing you. We have reps that are out there that are talking about it. Thank you so much for everything, and we can't wait to see you at the end of this handing out the hardware.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure, and we love it.
Paula Fox, chairman of the board with the Lamar Corporation, and we are going to get ready to clear the grid, get ready to have the ready to go. We're going to throw it back up into the booth to Zach as we tell these guys we're just about ready for go time.
All right, here we go, Rob. Things getting exciting now as we get ready to clear the grid and get ready to get our top riders off and rolling for the final race of the afternoon here from Motorsports Park Hastings. As once again, like we said, a busy, busy weekend. We, of course, had round 1 get kicked off yesterday, and then yesterday evening was round 1 of our Adventure Cross as well. Always a ton of fun with that. And as you can see, we had a lot of people showing up and showing out for that one. Glad Rob was able to catch up with the Frankie Dean Racing crew after bringing their machines out. Several of the adventure bike machines lining up as well. And, of course, our very own OPAG, our producer Adam Gordon lining up, rocking and rolling. Little on-road, little off-road, little bit of everything for you here in Adventure Cross. And cool shots as well, making their way through the tires, up and over, through some of the dirt sections as well. And then, of course, here we go, OPAG on the hunt. Look at this. Flirts to the inside, switches it up. This time takes the wide line around, puts the KTM throttle up wide open, and gets the pass made for that number 2 spot. Always a ton of fun, but at the end of the day, Matt Ransom, Skittles as we like to call him, was the man to beat in not 1, not 2, but all 3 of our classes. So cool to see. And Matt and his buddy Justin in an attempt to try to take on the Dakar Rally. So be sure to check them out. Kansas to Dakar, what they're calling their group. And Matt showing why he's certainly up to the challenge after getting the job done there at Adventure Cross. So a ton of fun being had from everybody out there at Adventure Cross, and a ton of fun about to start being had right here for the final round of the day. There you see Seth Dahmer making those final bits of preparations. They're on his Tucker speed-backed ride. And going to get these folks off the grid here in just a moment. We'll get the grid clear, and then we'll get ready to get the warm-up lap underway here for round 2. Your Andrews Bagger GP and Pirelli Pro Stock class sitting on the line, as well as some of our top finishers from that Super Street Bagger class this morning. There you see the Warner's House of Horsepower backed ride on the 501 machine. Tyler Elliott sitting there on the grid. And like we talked about a bit earlier here, we had our friends over at Motor Maidens leading us around for our fan lap, or parade lap, if you will. A really cool opportunity where fans and family members, pretty much if you can find something with 2 wheels, you get an opportunity to actually get out on the course. And of course, leading that was our friend over at Motor Maidens. This is the largest female-run motorcycle club in North America, and has been for quite some time now. So really cool to have that bit of history hanging out with us here this weekend, and not just showing up, but taking part as well, leading us around for our fan lap before racing got started a little bit earlier today. Now they've got a prime spot to enjoy the racing action as they get ready for our finale of the day, finale of the weekend, for Andrews Bagger GP and Pirelli Pro Stock. And once again, this is a cool, unique thing. This happens at every round. Our fan lap, we see, as you can see, there's all kinds of motorcycles that get to take part in it. So many people not really realizing just how much into the action they can be a part of. And this is going to be happening at an event near you each and every round of the Bagger Racing League. The fan lap kicks off the day's festivities, so make sure you guys are ready when you show up to your closest Bagger Racing League event. Here you go, starting to see the crews moving their way off the grid and getting ready to send our riders out for that warm-up lap. See Cody Gilmore there on the number 27 ride, having to fill in once again as we take a look at exactly how things went down yesterday for round 1 of our Andrews Bagger GP and Pirelli Pro Stock class. See some of the heavy hitters out front early, but it was the Indian machine making some quick moves forward. And he is not here with us here today on day number 2 due to a scheduling conflict. So like we talked about in our opener to start the day, who's going to walk away with the points lead, as there is a lot up for grabs. Of course, the 34 ride of Seth Dahmer really getting comfortable on that Tucker speed-backed machine. You see him trying to push forward, and Seth not only having a solid opening day, but actually qualifying in that number 1 spot here today. So Seth Dahmer on pole position. Meanwhile, Jankard and Gilmore are going to try to bring the fight to him. There you see the fight between Jake Masters and Drew Jankard as well. Of course, Jake Masters announcing to us yesterday that suffering a femur break just a couple of short weeks ago, having to do a quick, very light rehab, and pretty much just trying to make it through the day, gritting through the pain and trying to get some points. As checker flag would fall, and at the end of the day, the Indian got the job done. Such an incredible performance, but a door left open here today for everyone else able to stick around here for round number 2, the doubleheader event here for Motorsports Park Hastings, as we've got our final warm-up lap of the day. Out and about, they're going to make their way around. One last opportunity to kind of check on how that machine is feeling, and then they will take their position on the grid here for our final race of the day. Once again, a big thank you to everybody enjoying the racing action right here on RacerTV.com. going to close things off with a bang here, our final race. Getting ready to be sitting on the grid. There you see the 34 ride, your pole qualifier. As things getting down to business now. One last green flag to fly here for the opening weekend. And you can see that Andrews Bagger GP class there on row number 1. Cody Gilmore having to use not just a different machine, but even a different machine than what he had to use yesterday. So going to try to make the most of the opportunity, make the most of the time, and try to get some valuable information on the machine and some time out on course. As here we go, the final green flag of round number 2, the final flag of the weekend. The Red Line Oils 30-second card is out, and here we go. Green flag flies for the final time here for round 2. One rider having some troubles off the start, but it looks like that might be Janker with another lightning start in the number 99 in the number 1 spot. Who's that right behind him? Looks like a number 1 machine. Can't quite tell if it's Jake Masters or Cody Gilmore. Both of them running the number 1 on the back of the leathers. Looks like it's a Pirelli Pro Stock battle versus a Andrews Bagger GP for the top spot physically on course. Far side of the track, go from all of that speed down to really closing things down between 5 and 6, headed back into the left-hander here in 7. Ooh, and things are getting close there between the number 2 and 3 spot. I believe that is the teammates, if I'm not mistaken. So, not quite Rubbins racing, but certainly not leaving a whole lot of breathing room. Look at this, the 34 of Dahmer starting to creep up into the fight as well. This could be a 4-rider fight for that number 1 spot. Here we go, getting ready to put the opening lap in the books as we take a look. Down the front stretch they go once again. Drew Janker doing a great job. So strong on those opening laps. Brendan Foley, the rider in that number 2 spot. And Seth Dahmer going in that number 3 ride with Masters back in 4. Not sure about that though. It looks like Masters may have taken that number 3 spot back. And look back there from Foley as well. To wonder how hard Masters is able to push. Sounded relatively okay on the podium yesterday, so maybe able to push just a little bit more here today. Certainly pushing right now is Brendan Foley. Felt the opportunity is his to take here today after such an impressive ride yesterday. And Foley, like we said, one of those names that really got comfortable quick and almost immediately started taking the fight to the front of the field as Janker got his hands full once again. Look at this. Meanwhile, look at that. Somebody taking quite a line around the outside of turn 13. It looked great through the corner, but it cost him just a little bit on the exit. As Foley able to make the pass happen just past the stripe. Meanwhile, we are literally dragging knees on these bagger machines. This is incredible racing. Seth Dahmer in the number 4 spot. trying to find a way around Jake Masters. Meanwhile, Jankard starting to get caught up by the 3 and 4 riders. Cody Gilmore rounding out your top 5. Let's see. Way out, Jankard. Starting to drop just a little bit. Intensity at an all-time high here in the front. As now Dahmer peeks to the inside. Whoa, little shake on the Tucker Speed machine. Let's see just how hard Dahmer is pushing. As he's got Jake Masters just in front of him. Look at this, going to go around wide, sets him up for this next left, and already has the pass complete. Dahmer now into the number 3 position, into the number. Let's see here. Where's the 3 spot? Waiting on time and scoring to update. There we go. So it is Foley, Dahmer into 2. Masters in that number 3 spot. Look at this, battle is on now between Masters and Dahmer as 34 not settling with that number 3 spot. Rostock running 1 and 2 right now. How about it? Not surprised to see it, but not sure that we've actually seen it before. Wow. And that number 3 ride with Seth Dahmer trying to push it forward. Right there, and maybe just a tick more pace from Jake Masters. Got to wonder if the intensity is starting to affect Masters just a little bit late with that injured leg. Time on the machine coming into the weekend. It might just be the ascendant factor for Dahmer. You can see just how hard he is pushing that Tucker Speed machine dancing around underneath him as the halfway flag's just about to come out. Oh, a little slip up there from Masters. Dahmer around the outside. Absolutely beautiful execution around that final corner. Halfway flags are out. Masters, just a bit of breathing room. It looked like it tail end of that straightaway, but Dahmer closes it back in, maybe even more so as they head back off into turns 1 and 2. Dahmer going back to work now, peeking inside, peeking outside, trying to figure out what the best way is around their current leader. Excuse me, Jake Masters. Now Foley kind of maybe taking the most of this. We've talked about it before. The battles between 2 riders can pretty much play 1 of 2 ways. They either are cat and mousing so hard that the rider in front is more worried about behind him than in front of him, and it allows that leader to slip away, or the level is pushing them forward. And right now it almost seems like it's playing against them. But there was the pass from Dahmer. Oh man, the 34, look at that, sliding into that corner right there. And Masters, of course, like we heard yesterday, dealing with a recently broken femur. In some pain, no doubt about it, and got to think that's maybe affecting just how much he can throw that machine around. But the Australian, a fan favorite here at the Bagger Racing League, and someone that certainly enjoys being a part of this series as well, knows how important those early championship points are. Says that he was willing to send it nonetheless. Wow. Jankard back there in the 4 spot. Brendan Foley currently running about a 139.3 or so. Just about identical, honestly, to Seth Dahmer. And Masters only a couple of tenths back from that. So the pace relatively evenly matched at the front between Foley and Dahmer, but Dahmer's going to need some more speed
He wants to post this up. Foley, of course, a longtime stunt rider, grew up racing some motocross and got into the stunt world, and then from there was introduced to bagger racing. And I believe still, after the completion of this race, I'm not even sure if he will have 10 total bagger races under his belt. So when I say this guy has progressed extremely quickly, hard to get much faster than that. All of a sudden, you just go to the front of the field. So big things, I think, in store from Brendan Foley. Meanwhile, a bit further back, looks like Maldonado, and Jake McGuire just on the backside of the top 10 going at it. These two very good buddies off of the track and getting to do some battle on course as well. Top 10 for the moment. Jankard, Foley, Dahmer, Masters, and Gilmore, your top 5 with Tony Tucker back there in the 6th place spot. Elliott and McGuire with Ronaldo and Merrill rounding out your top 10. Right now, this might actually be, here we go, won't be long before we're seeing a white flag. Look at this, McGuire peeking to the inside of Maldonado, not quite able to do it. So the 87 working his way forward. White flag should be coming out. 1 lap left to go for Brendan Foley. As look at this, a drag race across the start-finish line. We'll see whether or not it's that close between the two of them. 1 lap from now. Oh, and look at this, problems. One rider down. Can't quite see who it is we've got there. Oh, man. Tough break as the drag race continues on. Trying to see. So the white flag is out. We had a rider down. Looks like that may be the turn 2 area. Potentially, or is that turn 13? Maybe that might be the exit lane just up above it. Can't quite tell here from the Avon Black live drone. Yeah, potentially turn 2 maybe. And still unsure for exactly who that rider is. So still waiting here. Now the white flag already out, so at this point, not seen a red flag coming out yet, but even when it did, all it would do is in the race. So may just still see a checker flag here. As Brendan Foley, I believe, trying to bring it home. Trying to get some confirmation from race controllers to exactly who that was that went down. But here we go, coming into the final few corners. Foley still looks to be out front and in control of this one more time. Hangs the left, has got one more 180. It does look like that was turn 13 where that rider went down at. Meanwhile, here we go. Checker flag is in the air, and it will be Brendan Foley getting the job done, grabbing the win out of your Pirelli Pro Stock class. Seth Dahmer going to cross the line in the number 2 spot out of your Andrews Bagger GP class. So 2 classes finishing 1 and 2 as the final checker flag flies for the day here from round 2 of the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers. You can see these riders leaving it all out on the course. Exhausted after this one. Still seeing that 34 shaking around after a hard fought from Dahmer there. What a ride as we get ready for your Red Line Oils race recap here from your final race of the day, your Andrews Bagger GP and Pirelli Pro Stock class. when the green flag flew once again, Drew Jankard quick off of the start and would lead them into turn number 1. But Brendan Foley quickly moves into that number 2 spot and started applying the pressure. And he brought Jake Masters, Seth Dahmer, and Cody Gilmore along with him. You saw some early separation between that top 4 or 5. There you see Jankard, Foley, Masters, and Dahmer as took just about a lap or so for the 34 Seth Dahmer to start getting some things figured out. But boy, when he did, started marching that Bagger GP machine towards the front. Meanwhile, the pass for the lead as Foley able to make it happen across the stripe, close things from the outside, and when he moved into that number 1 ride, he hit the ground running. Jankard got his hands full almost immediately with Jake Masters and Seth Dahmer. You would see him relatively quickly shuffle back to just outside of the podium. Meanwhile, Dahmer started to creep forward, putting the pressure on the reigning Pirelli Pro Stock champ of Jake Masters, battling through an injured leg right now. Dahmer would ultimately make the pass happen. But at the end of the day, the damage was done. Brendan Foley had gotten out front and gotten enough breathing room to be able to get the job done. We had a late rider go down, or a rider go down late, I should say, but would not ultimately affect anything else with the race as the white flag was already out. And when it turned to checkers, it was Brendan Foley getting the job done and grabbing the win. Your Alpine Stars top 10 looks like this. Brendan Foley, Seth Dahmer, and Jake Masters 1, 2, and 3. With Tony Tucker and Tyler Elliott rounding out your top 5. Matthew Maldonado, Jake McGuire, Carbo Merrill, Chase French, and Drew Jankard rounding out your top 10. All right, we're going to get ready for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we will hear from your podium finishers here for the final few classes of the day. This is round 2 of the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers presented by Memphis Shades.
Performance isn't a trend, it's a lifestyle. At Tucker Speed, we live and breathe Harley-Davidson performance. From performance parts and accessories to riding gear and apparel, we carry everything you need to build a faster, harder running machine. But we don't just sell parts. We build, we ride, and we race with the parts we sell. Because real performance only comes from real experience. From complete engine builds to suspension upgrades to in-house dyno tuning and custom performance setups, our team is dedicated to pushing Harley-Davidson performance to the limit. Street or track, weekend rider or full race build, Tucker Speed has the parts, knowledge, and experience to take your bike to the next level. Visit tuckerspeed.com or bring your bike to the experts at Tucker Speed.
Make your mark with Memphis Shades, proud sponsor of the 2025 Bagger Racing League. From raw materials to the open road, our windshields and fairings are designed by riders and handcrafted in the heart of Tennessee. Whether it's cross-country or weekend rides, Memphis Shades lets you ride longer, look better, and enjoy every mile. Visit memphisshades.com to check out our full lineup and upgrade your ride today. Memphis Shades, style that works.
This broadcast of the Bagger Racing League is brought to you by Yuasa Battery, DP Brakes, Icon, Alloy Art, Motion Pro, Bridgestone, Andrews Performance, Ultra Cool, Pirelli, Advent Black, Redline Oil, and Dunlop. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a beautiful Hastings, Nebraska, as we wrap up the final race of the afternoon and get ready for our final few podium celebrations of the afternoon as well, as we get ready to send things down to none other than Rob Bida standing by to the happiest place on the property. I'm talking about the podium.
While we're down here on the podium and shorten some things out, we had some crashes, we had some things. The results were logged in. Drew Dankard, second place today after running up front in the Andrews Bagger GP. Nice ride.
Yeah, thank you. I have to say thank you to my team, the Bridgestone tires and Barnett clutches. We had a good start there, and it's always fun coming out to Hastings. I enjoy everybody here at Hastings. Jeff Lucina puts on a great event, and Rob, you are very welcome to all comers that attend your event. And we had a huge crowd out here of fans, and it's good to see everybody so happy, and we hope to continue to put on a good show for everybody.
Give them a shout out, and let's get you some hardware.
Yeah, I mean, Alloy Art, Barnett clutches, Bridgestone tires, DP brakes, FDR, the list could go on, but those are the main guys that are helping us out, and we really appreciate each and every one of them.
Well, congratulations. Let's get you some hardware right here. We're going to slide over to Seth Dahmer as they're talking to Cody Gilmore right now. Yesterday, I believe a second in the class, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Today's a first, so that gives you how many points?
25.
And yesterday?
20.
2. Plus 25.
Oh, yeah.
47 points leader right now. Nice job.
Thank you.
You had quite a battle out there with these guys today. Everybody wanted to come at everybody. They didn't care what class they were in. They were trying to get to the front of the pack.
Yeah, everybody was trying to get to the front. Those Suburban bikes are fast, so I was working to get around them, and I was trying to catch Foley out front, but couldn't quite make it happen and wanted to bring it home with the win. So I'm excited. Can't thank the Tucker Speed team enough. They've worked so hard this weekend. DP Brakes, everybody that helps out this program to make it what it is, because we got a really good bike, and we should have some great momentum going into Gingerbread.
I'll tell you what, gentlemen, step up on that podium. Paula Fox right here with the first place. You folks step up there. And these are the top 2 of 3 in the Andrews Bagger GP. Michael Peterson handing out some shirts and hats down there, part of the Fred Fox program. How about a nice round of applause for these two gentlemen right here? All right. Zach, we're going to throw it back to you, and when we come back, the Pirelli Pro Stock podium.
All right, thanks so much, Rob, and huge congratulations to our Andrews Bagger GP podium finishers as we get ready to re-rack the podium. Hey, once again, want to give a huge shout-out to all of the amazing sponsors and vendors that help make these incredible weekends possible, and want to dive a little deeper with one of our favorites, our friends over at S&S we were able to catch up with a little bit earlier.
132 cubic inches. That's right, 132 cubic inches. Absolutely. Jeff Bailey from S&S said, listen, we're going to build a motor that is going to perform, going to be durable, and going to be something that we could put our name on, S&S, and be awful proud of.
Yeah, the 132 is something that we were working on. It's coming, but we're out here to support these guys with all these products. But yeah, when the 132 hits, I think it'll be a package that people can just bolt in and go race with.
You know, that's the easiest thing out here. This class is becoming so much bolt-on, you know, the forks, the subframes, the swing arms, a lot of the aftermarket components. But the heart of the beast, that's where you guys, well, how long has the S&S name been around? It's got to be close to 100 years.
What are we at, about 68 years right now? So, yeah, S&S has been around forever, proven performance, going racing. Racing's in our heritage. George Smith and everybody after him, you know, whether it's the Bonneville Salt Flats, road racing, flat track racing, drag racing, we want to be a part of it, and that's why we're here today.
One of the things that I don't think enough race organizations can speak to is we are so excited to have the contingency program. If you use their products, you're going to reward the racer.
Yeah, that's right. We want to help those guys who are out there racing. They're out here busting their butts, making it happen. So we want to be able to figure out a way to put money in their hands, and a really strong contingency program is what we've set up.
Well, the S&S name, you know, if it's stamped on there, it's going to be quality and it's going to be something you can be awful proud of.
All right, great stuff down there from our friends over at SNS. Really appreciate all that they do for us here at the Bagger Racing League. Want to give a huge shout out to all of our incredible sponsors and vendors. And of course, one of the most important things when it comes to the Bagger Racing League and setting those bagger machines up is tires. And we were able to catch up with our friends over at Bridgestone a little bit earlier this weekend.
Obviously, when you're looking at a race bike, so many people think, well, it's got to be the motor. It's got to be the motor. Let me tell you something, my friends. It is the tires. And Bridgestone has been with the BRL in lockstep every step of the way. They come out to support the development. But this year, Jim, you guys have really gone above and beyond to help out our racing community.
Yeah, no, I mean, we couldn't be happier to be here, man. You know, every year this keeps getting better and better. The bikes keep getting better and better. And, I mean, this is great for us. I mean, we get to see how our tires perform on these bikes. And as they get better, we learn more. And our tires are holding up great. I mean, we're the best.
You know, we've talked to a lot of the different companies about it. You could put yourself in a test environment or maybe go to the proving grounds, but the racetrack, that is the ultimate test. When you have humans that are going to push these things literally to the limits, to the edge of the tire, if you will, keep it there, bring heat into the carcass that's never been seen before. When you guys go back and you talk to the engineers, you're talking from firsthand experience.
Yeah, I mean, this is our mobile laboratory. I mean, that's how we describe it, right? So, like you said, you can test all you want to, but until you get these riders push them in all the different conditions, whether it's, you know, the rain we had this morning or can be hot out there on the track right now, I mean, the tires see forces that you really can't replicate at all. And that goes directly back. I mean, even our team here in the U.S. and for Canada, we take all this data and it goes right back to Japan. So when you go ride on the street, the technology that you're riding on the street, on your street bike, whatever, it's all coming from the racetrack, and that's either from this side of the house or even on the motocross side of the house as well too.
Bridgestone, born at the racetrack in motorcycle dealers around the world. Join us and help get these guys on Bridgestone all of the support that we can offer here from the BRL.
Well, great stuff from our friends there over at Bridgestone, and we hop from one tire brand to the other as we switch from Bridgestone to Pirelli with our friends over at the Pirelli Pro Stock Podium. Send things down to Rob Bidas.
Well, thanks a lot, Zach. We're over here with Mr. Pirelli himself, if you will. Tony Tucker, many, many, many hats, including his hunter hat. He is the Pirelli guy here. He is a competitor, and now for the second race in a row, he is third on the podium. We were just talking about it, 40 points on the year in 2 races. That's a good way to get the season rolling.
No, I'm super happy with the weekend, leaving here with some decent points. You know, man, I'm an old man. I'm 45 years old. I've never spent a minute in a gym. It was all I could do to hang on to this bike the last couple of laps, but I just, you know, hung in there, keep giving her hell, and try and bring it home. I tried to hang with these boys a little bit in the beginning, but they just had a little too much power on me.
You know, and here's the thing people don't understand. I think the two-wheel world understands how motocross and supercross are pretty taxing, GNCC. What is so taxing about this is these bikes are big, the G-forces, the inertia, leaning them over, holding on to them. These things will wear you out.
Yeah, I mean, these are, you know, 650-pound motorcycles, and the G-forces that we're at, you know, under braking is really what wears out my upper body, my arms, my shoulders get really tired really fast because I'm old and out of shape. But, yeah, they are extremely hard to ride, very difficult to wrestle around.
Well, I know that you have some people that helped you get here, and you're a wise man that says you help those that help you, and I know there's a lot of them.
There's a lot. First and foremost, always my amazing team and crew. I don't do any of this without them. Thank you to them. And obviously our big sponsors, Tucker Speed, Dark Horse Motor Company, Pirelli, GP Suspension, Law Tigers, SMT, Hellbent, HPI, ODI, The Brew, DP Brakes. Thanks to Larry for getting us set, you know, in the brake department this weekend. And I'm sure I'm missing a few, but, yeah, huge shout-out to all those.
Well, congratulations, Paula. We have an award right here, third place. Tony Tucker. We'll slide right over here to the second place finisher. Jake Masters is the defending champion in this class. Jake, we let the cat out of the bag a day or so ago. Broken femur a short time ago. The training had to stop. The conditioning had to stop. The flexibility is obviously a problem, and yet you find yourself on the podium.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely happy to be up here.
I was struggling with my lefts. I can't turn left right now, so the boys would just catch me in all the lefts, and then I had to make it up on all the rights. I had so much fun out there. It was honestly so awesome ripping with Seth and watching him ride. I'm super excited for the next round. This is so awesome. Thank you, Rob, for putting this event on. These baggers are a lot of work, so it's a good time out there.
Well, congratulations. Who do you want to give a call out to?
Massive thanks to Joe and Catherine at Suburban. We've got Snowball. We got Dylan. We got Rory at Bridgestone. We got Jay. I'd like to thank Suburban Motors, obviously, Impact Solutions, Sly Fox, S&S Cycles, Senders Only, Heatwave Glasses, Bagger Racing League. The list goes on. Thank you, everyone that makes this happen for us. And also a thank you to All Balls.
Congratulations, everybody. Jake Masters, Paula Fox has your second place award. Okay, now here's what happens a lot of times in this. We're so busy during the course of the weekend. People don't get the memo. You're not supposed to pick on the Bagger GP class. I don't know if you didn't get the memo. You're in Pro Stock. You start a couple rows behind him. Next thing you know, we see you up front. You're dealing with Drew Jenkard. You get in this lead, and then you start putting some gap on people.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the racer mentality, Rob. You put us on a grid, you know, and it doesn't matter who we're with, and you're just chasing the next fastest guy. You know, that's how you're going to get better on the bike. And, you know, Seth is ripping, Jake's ripping. You know, Cody, you know, I hope Cody's all right. I saw he went down. You know, there's a lot of fast guys on the grid, so, you know, it's pressure being out front. Let me tell you, a brand new bike, getting used to it, but it's hectic being up there. It's scary.
You know, one of the things that people probably don't realize is, obviously, if you're in second, you see where he's going, you see what his pace is, all that. When you're up front and you have to set the pace and set the line and everything, it's on your mind. You start do you start doubting yourself at all?
Yeah, no, not doubting yourself. You just have to remind yourself, you know, you got to race in front of you, so, you know, don't race behind you, and just you hit all your markers and just race in front of you, and you're going to be okay.
Great job out there. Way to go. Perfect on the weekend with 2 first places. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I mean, there's so many of them. Always going to start with Joe, Catherine, Aaron, the whole Suburban team. You know, we got put through so much this weekend. There's so many ups and downs. We came out pretty strong. It was a good weekend, and obviously all the sponsors that help us out. All Balls Racing, Bridgestone, Sly Fox, Ben from Impact. I mean, he was a huge help this weekend. He was helping us out big time, and Legend Suspension, Fueling. The guys from S&S out here this weekend, they helped us out big time. So we're very thankful.
Well, congratulations. Paula Fox has some hardware for you. I know we've got some checks to pass out as well. Jeff, here he comes up to the front right now. And we'll present these contingency programs check. Tony Tucker picking up $250. Brendan Foley going home with $750. And let me get up these gentlemen take to the podium here. And folks, this is the final podium of the Pirelli Pro Stock class. We're here at Gingerman, round number 2 of the BRF. Back to you, and let's wrap this baby up.
All right, thank you so much, Rob, and a huge congratulations to our Pirelli Pro Stock podium, kicking things off in style here for opening weekend of the 2026 season. Just like that, you blink, and rounds 1 and 2 are in the rear view mirrors. What an incredible weekend we've had here at Motorsports Park Hastings. A happy 20-year anniversary to our friends here at NPH, and a happy start to year number 6 of the BRL as well. As far as here on Racer TV, this is far from all. As you know, it's all racing all the time on Racer TV, and we've got some upcoming broadcasts that you need to know about. Of course, a brand new location for GNCC coming up next on June 6th and 7th. That's going to be Watkins Glen, New York. We'll have ATVs on Saturday. We'll have bikes on Sunday. And then J-Day continues with round 5 on June 14th up at the Budds Creek Grand Prix. It's going to be all day long live from 8 to 5 p.m. And then, of course, GNCC continues with their final round before the summer break at Snowshoe in Snowshoe, West Virginia on June 27th and 28th. ATVs on Saturday and bikes, of course, on Sunday. Well, as far as right here from this weekend, we got to hand out some thank yous to all of our friends at Stoke Media and Racer TV. Of course, starting off with our executive producer, Carrie Jo Russell, OPAG, our producer, Adam Gordon. Shout out on the podium finisher at Adventure Cross. OP, Don Hampton, our producer, Don Hampton, our director, Jack Renner, our engineer in charge, Jordan McFadden, as well as our second engineer and audio technician, Brian Wall. Our camera operators, Liam Doe, Trey Carswell, Matt Urbanski, Rinnick Turner, Bryce Bliska, and Jake Rinn, as well as our eyes in the sky, the man, the myth, Gabe Scholl. For everyone, I'm Zach Herron. We'll see you guys next time right here on Racer TV. Don't miss it.